Welcome to episode 33 of One Up Me. We're finally going to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. Enjoy.
What is up, one and all? Welcome to One Up Me, episode 33, where, as my partner in crime, my posse member said at the top of the show, we'll finally be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. After promising it for weeks, I have finally beaten it, and we can finally talk about it. Our opinions, our thoughts. We're going to try to do some non-spoilers at first, and then we'll let you know once we get into the spoilers. This is going to be a heavy spoiler show, though. So if you download this or start to listen to this and you haven't beaten it, I would suggest listening to it anyway. No, I would say beat it first and then listen.
Because this episode will always be here, and you can always go back and listen to it. So.
But first, what have we been playing? Jordan, what have you been playing?
I beat We Happy Few.
Oh, you beat it? No, you didn't. I forgot, yeah.
I beat it in the sense of I feel accomplished enough in the game to move on to another game. Because there's 3 chapters and then like an epilogue in We Happy Few, because I looked it up.
In the whole game?
Yeah, so you get to play as 3 different characters. Then there's like 2 chapters of epilogue, and I was just like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, I've already put like 30 hours into this game playing the first chapter. I'm good. Like, I'm good on this story. Yeah, it's insane. So you get to play as like Arthur, and the story ends. And do you want me to tell you what happens?
No.
Okay, so the way it ends is poetically beautiful in the sense of the way the story unravels itself is phenomenal, and I was satisfied with the first chapter and feel I don't need to go on to the next 2 chapters to understand, because it's about 2 people that, yeah, they're cool, they're interesting parts of the story, but I don't necessarily want to give them my time at this moment in time. I want to play other stuff. So, in my opinion, I've beaten the game. It's awesome. It's great. I truly would recommend it to people. And then some Black Friday sales happened, and I picked up Starlink Battle for Atlas because it was on sale like for 50% off at GameStop while I was picking up God of War and The Last of Us Remastered. I picked it up for the Switch. I played that about like an hour or so the other day. It was actually really fun, you know? It's a pretty fun single-player game. You have like these little model ships you put on the controller, and it scans it into the game. And it actually like represents like the ship and the pilot and the guns that you're using. It accidentally turned one of the guns backwards, and it was actually backwards in the game, which is kind of cool.
That's funny
that it did that. And so there's other pilots and other guns and ships you can purchase. And I might pick up some of those if I get pretty into the story mode and, you know, want some variety. But, you know, you can definitely just enjoy the game with the starter pack that I got. So that seems like a fun little casual game I can play. I don't know when I'm going to put it in my slot. I might just use it as like sprinkles.
Yeah, like once in a while.
Yeah. And then the last game is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it's getting interesting. And I know you picked up that game, and that's all I'll really say about that is that it's getting interesting, and I think it finally grabbed me. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah, I've been playing a little bit more of The Messenger. Nothing else has happened. Like I said, I beat that boss, and I might have played a few more minutes, but I'll beat that game, but I haven't played much of it. I also played some Overwatch and some Black Ops on my new PC. Black Ops actually runs, which it would not run on my last PC. So those have both been fun. I actually did pretty well on those.
Nice.
Which was nice. And obviously, I beat Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
And, that's about it, really.
Yeah.
I had a lot of Thanksgiving stuff and whatnot last week, so the only game I really played was Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2, because if I wasn't doing that, I was probably working on the podcast, doing Thanksgiving stuff, or doing schoolwork. So
Exactly, yeah. Holidays are always interesting when playing games and doing the
especially if
podcast
it's only a week
stuff.
long.
Exactly, I'm slowly getting back into the rhythm of just life in general. I did watch some more Naruto. For those of you that are curious, none of you might not be curious at all, but I have watched some more of it. They're getting it's trickling into the big war that's gonna happen, and it's they're prepping for it, and some stuff happened, and some people cried, and some people hit each other, and it's all fun and good. So that's fun to do.
Yeah, I haven't watched much of anything in the past few days besides like YouTube and Twitch. But
I've watched some other stuff. I've watched some other stuff, but it's one of those things where you watch a couple episodes, you're like, why did I waste my time watching that? And then you're like, okay, let's watch one more episode, maybe it'll get good, and it doesn't, and then you're like, dang it, I just wasted like 2 hours of my life.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, Anyway, but let's talk about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay, so let's try to keep this spoiler free at the very beginning.
Okay.
Let's see, what do you want to talk? We talk about the kind of the overarching story. So it's 1899. You are Arthur Morgan, and you're a part of the. Do they have a name for their gang?
The Dutch Van Linder gang.
I guess, but yeah, you're part of the Dutch's gang, which is the same gang that's in Red Dead Redemption 1. We're not gonna spoil Red Dead Redemption 1 because Jordan hasn't played that game.
That is correct.
But you're part of the same gang. You're John Marston, who is the main character in Red Dead 1. You're part of his gang, and you kind of go through the life of a gang out west that, in a time where out west gangs are dying, civilization is moving out west, cities are getting bigger, the law is starting to catch up with these people, and it's just generally not going to be a good time to be an outlaw gang, especially, I guess, in America.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how they go through, and it's kind of just interesting to think about how this wouldn't work nowadays. Like if people just decided to get horses and a bunch of guns and just try to rob a bank or try to do rob a coach or a car, it just wouldn't work nowadays. And it's fun.
It worked very well back then.
No, but it's fun to see how the world has evolved and how it is now compared to how it was. Kind of makes me kind of want to be a cowboy, but not really, because I definitely enjoy the pleasantries that we have of life now. But
pleasantries of life sounds like something that they would say in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
The pleasantries of life.
My way or the highway. But yeah, it is. I care about these video game characters. Like it is. This game, I don't know. It's
in trouble.
I am. It's not like spoiler wise. It's just that this game just like it really knows how to pluck your heartstrings because it actually like the dialogue's awesome. I really enjoyed the way the weather looked.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh my gosh, I was in a thunderstorm or lightning storm, whichever it's called. It was a storm, and I just kind of sat there on my horse, and it was just thundering and lightning and just
that was one of the first times I really realized, holy crap, this game.
It was
when I first saw a streak of lightning.
Yeah,
my mind was kind of blown,
and it was amazing, and I was like, this looks like I'm literally outside.
Yeah, dude, check this out. At first, I was doing a mission where you had to. I was on one of those stagecoach missions.
Yeah.
So in the game, you can steal stagecoaches and bring them back to this guy who like fences stagecoaches. I was in the middle of one of those missions, and it got dark, and my health bar started getting kind of low, so I decided to camp for the night.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was agreeing with you.
Okay, I thought you said no. I was like, what?
No, yeah. Keep going.
So I made camp. I got off the horse and buggy, obviously, and when I woke up the next morning, They were gone.
What?
They just left.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't I guess I should have hitched them. But yeah, I woke up and I'd put my horse in a stable, so I didn't have my horse with me.
Dang. You just had to run back.
So I was forever away from anything because this game is massive.
Yeah,
this game wants you to take your time. And I was like, what do I do? So I had to walk around and find a horse so I could get back to civilization.
I will say, comparing Red Dead Redemption 2's map to Assassin's Creed Odyssey's map, and Odyssey's map is probably 20 to 30 times larger than Red Dead's. I don't really care about some of the places in Odyssey because Red Dead does such a good job of building up that place, giving you backstory, and just building up the places you go and the adventures you go on. And it's like, so when you turn a bend and you see a town, you're like, okay, that's so-and-so town. I've heard about this place. I'm excited to go here. Or that's a bad place. I shouldn't go there. And it's just, you actually care about the places because you actually spend a real amount of time in those places rather than just, okay, let's run here, do this thing, then get back, travel back over here. And it's just, you actually spend a good amount of time in these places and build, not rapport, but I guess
well, I think in your case, you built one of the highest serial killer reputations of all time.
Oh,
okay.
Right.
I wasn't finished with my story, by the way, Jordan.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
bum.
sorry. I'm sorry. Finish your story,
okay.
Mr. Smith.
So, I was stranded, right? No horse. In the middle of freaking nowhere. So I had to go find a horse. And I come upon a group of wild horses. And I can see them off in the distance. And I start to walk towards them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it starts raining. And my first thought was, oh my gosh, could this get any worse? And my second thought was, holy crap, this is so pretty. And then the horses were sort of galloping away, and some of them were bucking up, and a big, huge lightning streak came down. I was like, this is like a movie.
Yeah, it's
insane. It really is. And then I had to try to chase the horses down, and they scattered, and I finally got one kind of pinned, and I calmed them down. And I petted her, and I kind of got her to calm down. She was pretty spooked from the weather and from me trying to corral her. But I got her to calm down, and I got on her back, and I galloped home, and it was like a movie. It really was. It was incredible.
There's this mode you can put the game in.
Cinematic?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used that a lot. Just because I enjoyed the way it looked, and it'll put cinematic. It just becomes, I guess, widescreen, and it just looks like a movie. So the camera moves for you, and all you really have to do is just hit X to move the horse. And
during one of the last missions, it's one of the more dramatic story missions. It does that for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I accidentally got off path for. So it was dramatic. Oh, hold on, I gotta get back on the road.
Yeah, I did that.
Dramatic.
I did that once or twice too, and I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Why did the game just get ugly?" But it doesn't get ugly. It's just
no, the game is legitimately one of the prettiest games I've ever seen.
Yes, I love cinematic mode a lot. I used it when I didn't have to. If I was,
I never used it.
I used it a lot. Even if I was just in town, I'd be cinematic mode and walking down the street, and it just looks really nice.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Definitely, you're definitely not wrong. I think I felt almost like it helped me be more in Arthur's shoes if I didn't have it in cinematic mode.
Okay.
Because it kind of feels like you said, you're watching a movie, and I wanted to feel like I was playing as Arthur, not watching him.
I will say if I ever come back to this game, which I honestly might, which I don't do with games a lot, even if it has...
It's so long.
It is so long. I did put it in... I will say that if I ever do come back and play this game again, I want to play it in first person with just the compass and no other game HUD.
Dang.
That. I feel like that'd be an experience because I did put it in first person once or twice, during a gunfight.
I did on accident one time, and I was freaking out.
That is intense. It changes the way you play the game so much.
I felt like it didn't feel like as good as third person to
no,
me.
No. Like, and if I had to choose, obviously I'd always choose third person just because I enjoy that.
But yeah, I see what you're saying though. If you want to like challenge yourself or something,
exactly,
that would be a good challenge. So a lot of people have pointed out that the combat doesn't feel perfect, and they were certainly correct.
Yes.
And I do kind of feel like it is almost purposeful because it wants it to be difficult for you. It doesn't want
and
to
it
be
is
easy
difficult.
because this wouldn't be easy in real life.
Yeah, not at all. This doesn't feel like a Call of Duty or
No.
It doesn't feel like a action adventure game in the sense of the combat is easy. I actually have to think about what I'm going to do.
It's almost like a sim in some simulation in some senses.
I have to aim. I have to like eat and drink and sleep and maintain my weight and do all these other things. And
I got underweight. I think I was underweight most of the game.
I was pretty good for a while, and then after a certain point, I was just like, "Oh yeah, I have to eat." Crap. Like I just forget.
What if you could die from being underweight? You probably could if you just never ate.
I think you could. I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, it tells you, you take more damage. So in a sense,
that's true.
You taking more damage because you're underweight would induce death. So yeah.
I started doing that thing. You can tell me if you did this or not. Where instead of like using Deadeye a lot, if I was behind cover, I would shoot somebody, duck behind, and then you can kind of like put your cursor where you want to shoot next while you're behind cover.
Yeah.
And then when you pop up, it'll go to the nearest guy, and then you can shoot him. But like that was like the best, most efficient way to have gunfights.
I agree, but I also disagree because I would also just be that guy that would like run up with a hunting knife and just start stabbing people. Yeah. Just like, because if you rush them and they have a rifle, they're not going to shoot you. At least in my instance, they don't. Or they try to shoot you and you miss. You like knock the gun out of their hand and you just stab them in the throat. Mm-hmm. And so it's...
Oh man, I had a couple of incidents like that. There was one time, this dude rushed me and tackled me, right? Mm-hmm. I had my sawed-off shotgun, and I got him up on me, and I meant to punch him, but I had my sawed-off shotgun in my hand. So I decapitated him, basically.
That's the funnest thing ever. I will say...
Holy crap!
It's great. I love doing that.
More combat kill.
Yeah, it's insane. I customized my guns a lot. Did you do any of that?
I did it once. I got because I got caught up in the story. Up until a point, I do. Let's do the gun thing first. I got it like a gold trim on one of my rifles, and my hunting knife. I got tricked out. I got like what's it called? Mahogany handle, and I got
nice.
I got the actual blade gold, and then I got engravings in the blade.
Oh, nice. I did my hunting knife. That was one of the last things I did actually in the game. I tricked out my guns first, so I tricked out 2 pistols with like gold, and then like
you don't want to hear that thing.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And I did a lot of dual wielding pistols for a while. With the engravings.
Really? Can you do that?
Yeah, it's...
Dang, I didn't even know you could do that.
You can also dual wield shotguns, which I did for a while.
Akimbo, I think that's what that's called.
It is intense and awesome. I even but the first thing I pimped out was my rifle. I did like a bear engraving on it. I guess that's what it called with like, I forgot the kind of metal I used. I think nickel or something. And, with the different wood and stuff, and it just looked cool. It just stood out. And even in the cutscenes, it shows your customized guns, which is awesome.
I always hated it if you had different clothes on, or if you had bought a different gun, or your hair was growing out, or something in a game.
And it just shows the normal character.
The default. Yeah. I feel like it's gotten better as the years have gone on.
Oh yeah, this game is awesome.
This was better than as far as that goes. It always showed you. Mm-hmm. It was one time that I fell back. It was like a scripted scene where Arthur gets knocked down, and I was like, "Hey, I'm wearing my clothes."
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be wearing.
Yeah, I love it. I did a lot of like for a little bit, I was like, I don't need clothes. And then after a while, I was like,
You went
okay.
naked?
No, I just got tired of like the preset clothes or whatever, and then I just rode into town and bought a whole bunch of clothes.
That's why the first thing that I pipped out was, as you say, was I got some new clothes. Or I started. Yeah. I didn't really buy new clothes. I think the first thing I actually customized were my weapons, but I changed my clothes like as soon as I got to the second place you go to. We won't spoil where you start out or anything.
Okay.
What about the what would you call them? The other activities, like your
the hunting and the
fishing, cutting your hair. Wait, did you do much of that stuff?
I let my beard grow all the way. Like, I didn't ever cut it, ever. I just got the hair toxin, and you can drink that, which will help your hair grow. Mm-hmm. So I let my beard grow the entire way, which is, I think, like length 10 or something.
Yeah,
which is funny to watch in cutscenes, because you can tell that they didn't think that... You can tell they didn't design it to allow... it doesn't look... Sometimes it doesn't look good.
What's like not gonna look good? It's big, gross, long Western hair.
but it's funny because no, it looks good in the design. I'm saying that it doesn't in some of the animations and stuff. Like Arthur would accidentally stick his hand through his beard, because it was just so long. I
feel like hair is something that
it's hard to.
Yeah, it must be hard to do because nobody does it right.
Exactly, and they did it pretty right.
They did it really well. They did it.
The fact that you can cut it, and the fact that it grows.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the best looking hair in games.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I did play it around once in a while. Like, I'd go to the barber and be like, "Okay, I'm gonna cut off my beard," and I look at it and I'm like, "Nope, not gonna do it.
Dude,
can't do it."
Check this out. I'll talk about this more, and I feel like a lot of my thoughts kind of tie into the actual story.
Yeah.
I kind of like let my hair grow and shave as I felt in the game, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like if I felt like depressed or something in game, quote unquote, I would be like, I don't care, and I just wouldn't cut my hair or shave my beard.
Okay, I like that.
I would start to feel better, and I'd be like, no, I need to shave, and I need to look presentable. This isn't right. I need to as I kind of progress to the story, like I would change. Like there's a Arthur. No, I don't want to say. I don't want to say that's. That's kind of a slight spoiler. Yeah. Let's just move on.
But going back to, so the hunting and fishing, or fishing and hunting, however you want to do it. I did the one mission, or the couple fishing missions there were. Mm-hmm. I didn't go out of my way to fish though.
No,
I didn't really.
And you don't really have to. There's a lot of places to fish
There are. I think I went once or twice just because I was like, I want to see what this is like. See if it's relaxing, and it was relaxing.
It's pretty
good
fun. Fishing mechanics.
It is. I did a couple. I did more hunting than I did fishing.
Really
though.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we can talk about this more in spoilers and different stuff. But I went after some targets when it came to hunting, and that was pretty fun.
Legendary animals and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't do any of the legendary animals.
I did a couple, and it was fun.
There's so much stuff to do that I kind of do want to go back and play this in a couple of years, maybe.
Dang, in a couple of years, okay.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of games, and this is This is like a 40 to 60 hour game.
There are a lot of games.
Yeah, I fished more than I hunted. I hunted every maybe like 5 missions or so. I would like see a deer and I would shoot it, or a rabbit or something. I ran over a lot of rabbits on accident.
You get an achievement if you do that.
Yeah, I know. They just would run out in front of you. I'm like, well, I guess he's dead.
Yep.
Stupid thing, just gonna run out in front of me. Not like I would try to avoid them, but they wanted to die.
I spent probably 3 hours in real life time looking for a legendary animal that I never found.
Really?
And it bothers me.
Which one?
The crocodile.
Oh yeah, I never. Man, see, I kind of do. This makes me want to go back and try to find the.
Because.
But I never beat the epilogue, so I wonder if I can do that in the epilogue. I'm not actually sure.
Do you want me to say?
No. Well, yeah. I mean, that's not a spoiler, is it?
No. No. Oh.
Let's just avoid it.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I did never find it, and I went to all this trouble finding it, or not to get into that location. Yeah, because what I did is I stole it. Like, I killed everybody in town. Then I stole a train, and then I rode the train to that area. And
Couldn't you just ride out to that area?
no, I mean, okay, pause. Our horses are so loyal in this game. My horse followed me on the side of that train, like through ravines, across the plains, wherever I went, and I went for a long way,
Dude,
like
check this out.
all the way, and my horse followed me the entire way,
At
which
one
was
point,
beautiful.
I got a what's it called? Not your like your secondary horse or your temporary horse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my temporary horse was following me around. Like, I was on the back of my main horse, and my temporary horse was following me. I even tied him up. I hitched him in camp one time, and I turned around and he was just there. I don't want to put you in a stable because I got to go find the stable. And I actually like grew attached and stuff to him, so I didn't want to just leave him and let him die or her.
Yeah, I was kind of just, my horse did that, and then I pointed my gun at him, and I shot it in the air, and I was like, go back to camp. And it was like, okay, and then it never left camp again. And I was like, thank you.
I forgot you can like dismiss them and make them. I mean, they're still your horse. They don't like run away forever. It's not like a Pokemon where if you release it, it's gone forever.
Yeah, no, I just like shot my gun in the air and slapped it on its butt, and it was like, get out of here, boy. And it's like,
get out of here, boy.
Get out of here, boy. Go on, get it now.
I like fished and hunted like pretty much only to for camp to like give to Pearson for him to cook and stuff.
Yeah, I started giving stuff to the camp, and then after a while, I was like, no.
Oh yeah, as the story progressed, I started giving less and less. Although I still kind of tried to fish and stuff so I could keep them fed.
You know, I'd give Pearson stuff. Be like, hey, I killed this thing. Here Pearson. You go. I do too. He's fun. Go ahead.
You got a story?
Nothing. He's just a funny character.
Yeah, he is.
I wish
Mr. Morgan.
Mr. Morgan, y'all gotta go out and do some hunting and fishing because we're gonna starve. And Arthur goes, you look like you could afford to starve a little, Mr. Pearson. I'm just like, oh my gosh. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, how many hours did you spend petting dogs? Because I spent about 3 or 4 hours petting dogs.
I don't want to admit what I did to the dogs.
Did you kill dogs?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! What's wrong with you?
They were barking at me, so I just had to.
Because you were killing them! What the hell is wrong with you?
Look, man, like...
Oh my gosh.
It just had
to psychopath.
I don't know if I can finish this episode because I did some pretty messed up things, man.
Oh my gosh, you killed doggos?
Yes, they weren't my dogs.
It doesn't matter. Oh crap. I spent so much time petting dogs, and because it sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like you're actually petting the dog. I swear. It's like, I don't know. It sounds very solid.
I think I tried petting dogs, and then after a while, they just like started barking at me, and I was like, "Okay, you got to die. Get out of here."
Because you were a killer. They probably saw you kill people, and that's how.
Yeah, I was. I was pretty.
You're okay. No, that's what Arthur says to your horse.
You're okay, boy.
And then to the dogs, that's what he says to the boy horses. The girl horses, I can't remember what.
Girl. Yeah, I forget what he says to the girl horses.
And then to the dogs, he's like, that's what he says. He says, "That's my boy" to the boy
that's
horses
what he says.
too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I spent a lot of time petting dogs. I can't believe you killed the dogs.
I mean, it just kind of happened.
Oh my gosh.
So I played as a very black hat,
very bad person
in this game. Yeah, I was pretty much wanted dead or alive in most places.
Well, you end up like that anyway towards the end, I think.
Yeah, but it was pretty bad. Like I had $2,000-$3,000 bounties.
Jeez,
in town.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I robbed everybody in town I could, killed most people, and then
you wanna we can continue this talk. You wanna kind of move on to spoilers here?
Sure, but before that, did you? Never mind, it's a spoiler. Yeah, let's move on to spoilers.
Okay, so spoilers in 3, 2, spoilers. Okay. So, what are you gonna ask?
Did you ever use the fast travel?
No.
Okay, I did.
Literally
Once
never.
in a while.
That wasn't a spoiler.
Okay, well, you never know. Some people be like, fast travel, I thought you rode your horse. You know, I didn't want anybody to get triggered. So,
No, I didn't.
Welcome to the spoiler cast for Red Dead Redemption 2. I really liked I didn't like the first location.
You didn't like the snow?
No, not at all.
Dude, man, that snow. Oh, no.
It looked beautiful.
I don't think you were supposed to really like it, actually.
I was just like, I hate this. I really wish that you could have had a fist fight with Dutch or just straight up killed him. I tried a couple times.
Well, he's in the second. He's in Red Dead Redemption, the original.
I know. I tried a couple times. You know, like I'd be
I
across.
tried to kill like several people in my gang. I tried to kill Sadie.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I like Sadie Adler.
She's a very bad person.
I like her so much. I think I like her. I think I like her more than Arthur.
Why?
I don't know, man.
She is a sociopath.
I think that's what I like about her. Oh, man.
Like,
no one is ever going to take anything away from me again.
She doesn't care about anybody but herself.
She just wants a harmonica. That's all she wants.
No, she just wants to kill everything that moves.
That's why I love her, man.
But how many times did she should, like, if it was up to me, I would have kicked her out of the gang. The amount of times that she got the gang in trouble by doing some stupid crap. She got that poor old man killed, the air balloon guy, by being a freaking moron.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I kind of liked that guy, too.
Yeah, I did, too.
That was a cool mission. A hot air balloon? That was fun.
Yeah, you want to start from the top. Let's kind of start from the top.
Yeah, start from the top.
Okay. So you start out you have been chased out of a town called Blackwater. You have robbed, I believe, a boat.
Ferry boat,
Ferry boat, and you kind of got chased out by these special agents called Pinkertons and the cops, and you get kind of stuck in this mountain area where it's snowing. But the good news is you've lost the scent of the police. The bad news is you're stuck on a mountain full of snow, and everyone's in kind of danger of dying.
Yep. You rob some people. It teaches you. It feels like an 8-hour tutorial in this culture snow area, but it's not, which is nice.
I mean, it is a tutorial, but
well, yeah, but it's not 8 hours. No. It just feels like it's 8 hours.
It's not. I mean, the Kingdom Hearts 2 one feels a lot longer than that.
True.
Even though it's like 2 hours. This is kind of besides that earlier example of the rain and the lightning. This kind of really showed me how pretty this game is fairly early.
Yeah, it does.
And then, but not just that, it was when you're sneaking in the snow, your arm drags through the snow. So like the snow like melts and changes differently depending on if you're standing up or like crouched over. And that was when I kind of first was really I guess kind of awestruck by the game's engine. And there are some glitches that I ran into, which is weird because I've never really had any Bethesda glitches, but I had a glitch in this game that apparently had 100-hour work weeks.
Wow!
But I mean, I only had a couple. And
I really enjoyed the snow sounds, like
the crunch and stuff.
Yeah, the crunch and it actually made me feel cold.
Yeah, I feel that. So you go and you find out that this other gang that you have like sworn enemies of, the O'Driscolls. Colm O'Driscoll are kind of there as well, and you have to kind of like try to chase them away and to take the money that they have and try to get Colm O'Driscoll, either kill him or get him arrested or something before he does the same to you, and they end up kind of running away. But the way you find out, I actually have a question for you, because this was my kind of first decision on how I wanted to play Arthur. Is you're trying to find some
food,
whiskey, water, and shelter.
Blanket, yeah.
Right? And you find this little shanty thing, but it's not very big, so you're like, okay, let's try to find something even better. Anyway, you had to go try to find like John and I think Lenny. Lenny might already be with you though. I'm not sure.
I think it's John and Lenny.
Yeah, you have to. Who are a couple of characters that you kind of sent ahead to try to find shelter and stuff. And so Dutch sends you out to try to find them, and then while you're out, you find some more shelter, and you find some more O'Driscolls that are in some shelter. And you're like, okay, I want this shelter. But you find out that they've killed the owners, and so you're like, okay, we're going to take this from them, kill them, or knock them out, or whatever, and take this for ourselves. So you do that, you rescue the woman that they had held captive, and then you hear like something in the barn. So you run out to the barn, and there's one last O'Driscoll. I having a really hard time not going O'Driscoll every time. And I have a question for you, Jordan.
Okay.
This was the moment that I decided I was gonna white hat because I didn't kill him. Did you kill him?
Yes.
I knew you.
Yeah, I beat him to death.
Oh my gosh.
And I beat him almost to death, and then I shot him in both his legs, and then I stabbed him in the throat.
Oh my gosh. Jeez.
Yeah.
See, I kind of, the way I played this game, it's almost kind of like Dutch's rules, except I'm not a hypocrite.
Oh yeah, I didn't at that moment. Dutch was like, do whatever you want, and I was like, hell yeah, like
yeah. I would like, I even kind of made the decision. I didn't kill. I mean, I killed a lot of people, but I didn't kill. Even like when I was in shootouts, I like shot them in the leg. I critically wounded a lot of people, and I definitely took a lot of people's legs, but they had a chance to survive. You know what I mean?
I always aimed for the throat.
And there are a lot of people, like there was like certain situations where I was like, okay, you're gonna die, and I just shot him in the head. That's how I would. Like there was one situation. Man, what happened? Oh, dude, there was one dude that stole my horse, and I shot him in the back of the head.
Yep. Ooh, speaking of killing people, the way the game presents it, and the fact of just it slows things down and kind of gives you like a snapshot.
Oh, kind
of.
Yeah, like if you hit
it doesn't take a picture, but if you get like a critical shot or something, it'll like show like you firing and then the bullet moving across the screen, and then like actually
shot, and then
it looks awesome.
Yeah,
so the woman that you find in Culture is Sadie Adler.
Is that Sadie Adler? That is, isn't it? Holy crap.
Yeah. That's why she's like,
Insane.
Where's my husband?
Well, she knows he's dead. She doesn't.
Well, yeah. And, her whole quote throughout the game is, no one's ever going to take anything away from me again.
Well, you don't have anything to take, so how would they take anything away?
Exactly. Which is true. She's kind of a contradictory statement in the fact of she doesn't have anything else. The gang picked her up.
They kind of become who, her family, which is like, the game is a family. It's a family to Arthur. And, it kind of it's interesting because I felt like I really had an arc with Arthur. I didn't kill the kid because I do believe he was a young guy. I think Arthur's like 35 or something, so he's young. But this kid was younger than me, and he had nobody was there who could protect him. He wasn't a threat, so I was kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna kill him. And then the O'Driscolls that you first see, I was like, okay, I'll kill them because they're O'Driscolls, they're bastards, and they're trying to kill me. And then I kind of decided who I was going to kill, and as the story progressed, I kind of killed less and less people.
Okay. So, obviously, something I just remembered is, as you're traveling back to camp in the snow area, it actually shows you the legendary bear, that big old bear that passes your. I just now realized that.
Hosea. Did you actually get any of the legendary animals?
I did. I killed I stayed. Hosea gets attacked by the bear, and then I stayed back and killed the bear, and then I also killed the legendary elk.
How difficult is that? Are those?
The bear was pretty difficult. It took me 2 tries to do that. Just because he's huge, and you can track him and you can use Deadeye and stuff, but if that thing rushes you, man, you can only fire so many bullets at once.
They're just try to run away.
No, kind of. You got to like aim for critical spots because you're not going to outrun him. You can't. I tried
even on
in
a
one
horse,
instance.
or?
I wasn't on a horse, like, because you like leave your horse like down the mountain ridge and you like walk up because it'll like kill your horse too.
Yeah, I feel like even on the horse, it might catch up to you.
It's super fast, but I killed it the second time, and it was just kind of like aiming directly for its brain using Deadeye. And then the legendary elk was super easy to kill. Like, it was just...
I feel like the actual tracking might be the difficult part on some of these.
Yeah, tracking the elk took me about an hour, and it was just kind of like, oh, I'm finally over in this area, and I found the first clue to find the elk,
right.
And then I just kind of went on the way, and then it turned out to be an hour, and then finally I was like, okay, this is the last clue. It has to be somewhere close, and I was getting frustrated, and I looked up, and it was literally like walking out of the clearing, and I was like, took out my gun, and I was like, so
yeah,
that
I actually one time I was riding down the road, and this dude was hollering on the side of the road about, I'm tracking this thing, I'm tracking it. And I was like, what's happening? Because I felt like he might be tracking a person or something. So I ran over there to find out what he's tracking. And I walk across this big, like, rock. And it's a freaking bear. And I was like, holy crap. And he just ran off. And I'm pretty sure that bear would have killed that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it scared the crap out of me because I was not expecting a bear. So I thought that was pretty fun.
No. There's a mission that I'll talk about later once we get into a different
section?
A different location. Mm-hmm, a different section location that I did. It was a side mission, but it was sad, but also really interesting that they put it in the game. So after you go into the snow area, you attack the O'Driscoll camp.
O'Driscoll.
O'Driscolls. Then you steal their plans. You get the dynamite. And stuff,
that's right. Because you have to you got to attack the train.
Mm-hmm. You steal their plans and you take it, and then.
But before that, don't forget you rescue John.
Yep, you rescue John.
You kind of start to meet, I guess, or talk with Charles.
Mm-hmm. I like Charles a lot.
He's a Native American character. He kind of teaches you how to track and how to hunt and stuff.
Yeah, he's really quiet, but he's a family. He's like he loves the gang.
I feel like he's like one of the first people that John kind of learns from as far as just being a better human being.
Yeah, I'd agree. I will say that I did think it was crazy how far out John was. Like, what the crap, John? Why'd you go that far? On the side of the ridge, just like so far away from everything, looking for a place to stay.
He got attacked from wolves, remember?
Oh,
he
yeah,
was just trying to find a way away from them.
That's right.
So you rescue John. Never mind. You and Charles.
You're off the hook, John.
Yeah, a few people. Oh, they do rape him like the entire game.
Yeah,
he gets attacked by wolves, and you kind of rescue him, kill some wolves, and then he's kind of laid up in bed for weeks and weeks because he got attacked by wolves. So he's trying not to get infected because that was a death sentence back then. It's not good now, but it's a death sentence back then. So
yeah, most things were a death sentence back then. Yeah. It was insane.
So then you kind of, like Jordan said, you move on to attack the train, which does not go well. It doesn't go as planned. Let's just say that.
Yeah. So this is another thing where it's like it kind of like you're getting the feel for the game. You're getting used to the mechanics and how things operate. But this is the first big heist.
Yeah.
Like the first big mission. You're riding on your horses, the music's playing, you're like, okay, sweet, we're gonna rob a train. Like, that's what cowboys do. That's awesome.
Well, we're not cowboys. We're
outlaws.
Yeah, cowboys don't rob trains. They actually make fun. Like Arthur and them actually make fun of cowboys.
Cowpoke. Yeah. So you finally get to the train. You gotta hop on the train and and you finally rob it, and pretty much it's just like you get what they're called banknotes. I think that's what they're called, banknotes, right?
Yeah.
And so you get those, and you're faced with another decision of, okay, do you let these people go or do you kill them?
Jordan?
I let them go.
You let them? Holy crap! I'm surprised.
And then I followed them and killed them.
Oh my god! What is wrong with you?
I was like, okay, you guys can get out of here. And he's like, oh boy. And the guy goes, we're going to tell everybody about you. And I was like, no, man. You're not. I'm like, you shouldn't have said that. I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
Because, I'd killed a lot of people. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be nice. Like, I'm going to try to be, you guys can go. You didn't do anything wrong. You just work for this mean guy. It's fine. You can leave.
Yeah.
And so Yeah, and then they said the wrong thing, and they were like, and I was like, okay, now you gotta die.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that was pretty
But,
stupid.
you know, I was like, you shouldn't tell me that you're gonna go tell people.
No, that's pretty
like,
dumb.
so I killed them.
I just kind of beat him up a little bit and was like, don't tell anybody.
Oh man, there was this instance where I killed everybody in town except this one guy, because he was like a beggar.
Uh-huh.
And then I left town. Obviously, went on to do some other stuff. Then I came back. I don't know how long it had been, probably a while in game time, because everybody in town was alive again.
What?
Yeah, it was weird.
Are you sure you just didn't kill everybody?
No, I killed most people in town. Like, it was a pretty small town. And so the guy's like, I haven't seen you since you killed everybody in town.
Are you
But
talking
don't
about
worry,
the mission with Micah?
No. Mm-mm. This was just a solo me thing. And the guy goes, I haven't seen you since you had that big shootout in town, killed a whole bunch of folks. But don't worry, I didn't tell anybody. And I was like, okay, that's good.
Good man.
Here's $5.
And you killed him.
No, I didn't. I actually didn't kill this guy. I felt bad for him,
Nice.
So I just gave him $5 and he was on his way. Well, he kind of just on his way.
Yeah, so you rob the train. It doesn't go... you're supposed to plant dynamite. Yeah, I mean, you do plant dynamite. Bill, this is like your first interaction with Bill. I guess he screws it up, or Arthur screws up planting the dynamite. I think Arthur is the one who actually screwed it up.
Yeah.
But the dynamite doesn't go off.
I like to blame it on Bill, but I think it was our fault.
Yeah, but the dynamite doesn't go off, so you have to kind of get on your horse and run down the train. And like Jordan said, you actually use more dynamite and blow a hole in the side, and then Jordan let them go, but then killed him, and I let him go.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you kind of talk to Dutch, and he's like, "This is the line that you hear, I swear 1,000 times in the game, second only to have some faith, Arthur."
Oh my gosh, I just want to gut him like a fish. I wanted to shoot him in the
forehead.
I tried so many times to kill that man. I'd like be across the ridge of a camp and like zoom in with my scope and have him in my sights and like pull the trigger, and the game auto corrects it and it makes me like shoot the tent above him or whatever. He'd be like, "What the hell?" And I'd be like, "Dang it!"
Yeah, it won't let you shoot him. It won't let you shoot anybody in your in your gang. Yeah, but he's like, "We just need a little more money, and we can get out of here.
We just need a little more money.
Money.
It's money.
Arthur, we just need a little more. Do you know what these are, Arthur? These are banknotes. This is worth money."
My favorite is his quote, "Try. All I ask is you try." Just like, it's like Dutch. We
Dutch
don't
is
need
so
it.
full of shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, he is.
He's the most hypocritical person.
Yeah, he is. It's annoying. One of the lines that really stuck with me is one that Arthur says to Lenny. He tells him, "We rob fools that rob other people," and Lenny's like, "Okay, that makes sense." And then they're having this conversation and they're going about their day and stuff, and it was just interesting to see how impressionable like younger people are, because you can see
to Arthur. He was 13 or 14 when they picked him up, and they kind of molded him into the person he is.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you kind of see. That's what's happening to Lenny too.
Yeah,
Dutch is like taking him under his wing and trying to do stuff.
It feels like Arthur and is kind of trying to do the same thing. Maybe almost pull him away from Dutch towards the end. So after this, I'll move on with the story though. Here, after they rob the store, rob the train. It's a little different. They move on to Is that when they move to Horseshoe Outlook? Mm-hmm. Okay, and they have to rescue this Irish boy named Sean.
I didn't like him at first, but then he grew on me.
I kind of feel like, yeah, me too, because he's this annoying guy.
Just unruly, just like drunk, and
he's just like, you boys just don't have any youth left in you.
It's just like, what? It's like, I don't understand you. You're speaking Irish, but also you're also putting outlaw in it. You're an Irish outlaw, and you're drunk most of the time. I don't understand.
It's interesting because Sean is Irish, and I think the Driscolls I think are also at least Colm is Irish, I think.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
so in Horseshoe Overlook, you get into the town. You're outside of the town of Valentine, and a bunch of stuff goes down. A lot of interesting stuff happens in Valentine. Actually, I think it's one of my favorite towns of the game.
It is, yeah. It's the first
like actual town. Yeah. So, what'd you think of this particular arc and chapter of the game?
I liked it. It was like the arc that you kind of started. I mean, you kind of realized in this game, like the entire game is about the decline of the quote unquote Wild West. But it starts to go out all right, and then as time goes on, you start to realize that this probably isn't. You're not going to get out of Strawberry, that easily. Although I didn't think it would end with us pushing a wagon, shooting half the town up.
Exactly. Yeah, there was a lot of. I didn't think it would end that way either. So there's a side mission that you get to do while in Valentine that I actually did. I did a couple side missions here and there throughout the game, and this one was actually really cool, and I might go back and do the rest of them. So what happens is you finally get inside this building, which turns out to be another bar. It's like a smaller bar than the actual saloon. It has like 10 seats in it. Excuse me. And you go in there, and there's this old gunslinger, and this guy is trying to write a book about him. And the guy's like super drunk out of his wits, and he's trying to get information out of this guy to confirm that, he actually is the best gunslinger ever. And the guy's always drunk, so he can't actually tell him anything. So, Arthur Mosey's on up in there, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, he's like, listen, you want money? I'll pay you. And the guy's an author, so he's, trying to write this book, and he commissions Arthur to go throughout the map, or the world, whatever you want to call it, and he gives him these photos of these old gunslingers, and it's like, hey, find them. The information's on the back where to find them. Just confirm if this guy really is the fastest, best gunslinger in the world. And Arthur's like, okay, sure, whatever. And then, you can kind of just pull up a picture whenever you want, and it'll show you where they are on the map, and you can go there. I only did one of them, and it's this woman, and I forgot her name. And he gives you a camera, and you got to take their picture, and it's really actually pretty cool. Because it develops into another series of events that allow you to get somebody else's backstory, and their interactions are just as full-fledged and complete and awesome as the main dialogue. So I went and found this woman, and I forget her name, but she was just out in the middle of the boonies, like in the swamps. She made a cabin, and there's booby traps everywhere, and of course the Pinkertons show up, which are the cops in this game.
They're not cops, they're like private cops or something.
Yeah, they're like government cops. So they show up, and she's like, what are you doing here? He's like, I just got some question to ask you about your wild gunslinging days. And she's like, okay, you're lucky I like you. You can come inside. She's like, but just so you know, I could have killed you when you rode up here. And he's like, I know, ma'am, don't worry. And so you get inside, and they start talking, and, obviously there's this big, huge gunfight with the Pinkertons, and there's a Gatling gun, and it's awesome. She's like, now pull that lever, and there's explosions, because she put dynamite all over her house and stuff, and it's just like an awesome fight. And then after, she's like, if you were a little older, I would have had my way with you. And he's like, oh my. And it was just funny to, like, see those interactions. She's like, so what else do you need from me? He's like, I just need a picture. And so she's posing with her gun and stuff and doing different things. And she's like, you tell so-and-so that if he ever wants another gunfight with me, we can have it any time. And I really wish that, like, you could have, like, just done more exploring with her, because I wanted to hang out with her. She was super cool. Yeah. And that was just a really cool side story that really stuck with me. The fact that everything is full-fledged, written out dialogue, awesomely designed, the detail,
Oh yeah.
It's just it's perfect.
This game is a masterpiece, no doubt.
Exactly. And but back to Valentine.
Wait, I actually have a quick aside.
Go ahead.
Did you do that little? It's not really a side mission, but did you run up on that guy and do the gun contest with him?
I did a couple times.
Oh yeah, okay. So I beat him the first time, and then he wanted to do the birds. You know
Yeah.
And then I realized that you can't use Deadeye, and I'm like, and I lost.
No, you can.
It wouldn't let me use Deadeye.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Okay, that's right. Okay, so I've challenged him. That first time, and then he beat me, so I killed him.
And it let you
and
do
then
it again?
No, this was different.
Oh,
This was
guy.
like
Okay.
No, the same guy, which confused me
sure
because
he
was dead.
It could just.
I mean, he looked kind of the same, and this was like later. This was towards the end of the game. I just rode out, and he was just there, and he's like, "Hey, amigo, you want to have a gunfight?" And I'm like, "Sure, whatever." Or not like a shooting contest.
Yeah, I just ran away.
And I was like, "Sure."
He was like, "All right, man, you owe me money," and I was like, "No."
Yeah, I was like, he beat me the first time, and I was like, "Okay, here's your money," and then I just killed him and took the money. So
nice.
Because money's important.
Yes. Okay. So that was a quick aside. I was just like, I'm not. No. This is BS. There's no way for me to hit this stupid bird.
There was a lot because the first time it wouldn't let me do it, but the second challenge, which I did towards the end of the game, let me use Deadeye, and I shot all the birds at once using Deadeye, which was awesome. It was a really cool feeling.
Okay. Back to the main story.
Back to Valentine. Lenny and you get super drunk.
Oh yeah, that's great.
At the bar, and you're running around. You're like, Lenny is that? Because
you get so drunk, everyone in the bar looks like Lenny.
Yeah, and it's so funny because you're going up to random people, but like, Lenny, is that you? And you're like, I'm not Lenny. I'm the bartender. And so obviously you get into a fight with the biggest guy in town, and it's a fun mechanic. The fighting, the actual fist fighting in this game is a fun mechanic because you just get to. It's just just slug after slug. It
really feels like you're hitting each other.
Exactly, you can push people, and it's just just like an old fight. And so you get into a fight, and like Ryan said, after all the ordeals of everything that happens in Valentine, you
have to. Don't you? Is this where? Dang, you the preacher. Is this where you help the preacher too? Is that in Valentine?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It is. Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was like, who in the hell is the preacher? And then it turns out, because I knew who he is, and you had to find him because he was super drunk and he was doing a poker game. And you had to play.
This is where you had to play the poker mechanic, which is one of my favorite. You learn the mini games.
It is really cool.
In the game.
I like all the mini games. They're fun.
Me too. Dominoes.
The knife game, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I never can remember what that's called.
Me neither, but I enjoyed doing that a couple times with Lenny, which is super funny because it'd be like, ow, and it just that's a fun mechanic. So you got to save the Reverend, and after a while, I was just like, you chase him, and then finally he gets his foot stuck in the train tracks, and I'm just like, the first time I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let him die. I don't care, you can die, Reverend, and then the game obviously is like, okay, you can't let him die, you have to save him.
I was pissed off at him.
Me too. I was like, dang it, Reverend, I'm trying to help you. Come on, man.
Yeah, I was the same way. I didn't let him die. I'm not surprised. The game doesn't want you to let anybody die if you can help it.
No. Yeah. So that was fun. You get during some other side stuff, you have to go save Micah, which I really didn't want to do.
No.
But you had to, which is really stupid. So Micah got into some trouble with some people in Strawberry. So you got to ride up to Strawberry and save him.
How'd you save him?
But I killed all the police and took the keys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just
how'd you save him?
I hooked the there's a crane you can hook to the cell doors.
What?
And to pull the cell doors off.
Wow, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense than what I did, because I went inside the police station. He's like, "What you doing with that gun, partner?" And I was like, "I'm thinking about shooting you." He's like, "You better put that away right now before we have some trouble, boy." And I just turned on Deadeye and just killed them all.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just like,
well, it doesn't matter. In
dang.
the end, you end up killing most of the town anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, you end up. And Mike, I honestly thought that was going to be like a bounce chicka wow wow scene when he like ran up in that house. I was like, I have to wait for him to do obscenities to this person.
Nope,
I don't
he
want to
kills
listen to
them.
this. Nope, he just kills them and takes his
I
guns
tried to
back.
kill Micah too. At this point,
I did
they just
too.
shoot up the
I
entire
wanted-
town. I was like,
Gosh.
"What are you doing?"
I'm like, Micah, if I wanted to come up and shoot up this whole town of Strawberry, I would, but I'd do it by myself. I don't need
Nope.
you.
But yeah, Micah is he's a snake.
I wish he would have hung.
Man, I wanted to kill him so bad.
I tried killing
Right
him
there.
more than just, he ends up, stupid cowpoke. I hate Micah.
But yeah,
But-
so you escape from the town with Micah. He shoots up half the town, and you get away with him. And which obviously you have a big bounty in Strawberry now, and you go your separate ways.
Mhm.
And he's like, I'm not gonna go back to Dutch without a
plan
like a
and-
reason to come back to him, basically, without
Mhm.
money or a plan or something. So then you're like, okay, whatever, Micah, I hate you, and you ride off your separate ways. You go back to Horseshoe Overlook, which is the camp that you have set up, and let's see what happened. You heard some goats. You go. John now has a plan. He's starting to feel better from his wolf attack, and he has an idea to herd some sheep, to steal some sheep, basically. From some cowboys.
Yeah, so you just set up on a ridge, and he's like, hey, these are award-winning sheep, man. I forget where they're coming from.
Doesn't
From
matter.
but anyway, they you kill the people,
Well, you know,
or you just
Well, you might
or you
have.
scare them. Yeah, I killed them, but you can also scare them off, and then you herd the sheep, which teaches you the herding mechanics, which you don't really use a lot in the game, but it's a fun one. It's just funny to, you're an outlaw and you're herding these goats,
Yeah.
and you take
One
them
of them ran
to
in front of me, and
Valentine.
of course I ran over him.
I did too, and the game was like, no,
I didn't-
don't kill the goats.
Yeah, I didn't. They're sheep. George.
Sheep, my bad. Sheep, goats, same thing.
You're
They're
sheep.
both animals. I think I'm a goat, greatest of all time. So,
Oh, yeah, but one
Got
just
'em.
ran in front of me like those. Oh my gosh.
what? Squirrels?
Like the
Rabbits.
Like, yeah, but animals just run in front of me sometimes. Yeah, one of the sheep ran out in front of me and I killed him. But I got him back to town. And the
Yep,
guy's
so
like, I'll give you. You're a cow thief or a sheep thief.
He's
You'll
like,
hang."
you stole these, didn't you? And we're like, nah, man, we didn't steal them. And he's like, okay. He's like, so we'll give you half the money. And then you start bartering back and forth, and you're like 75, and he's like 25, and you're like 50, and he's like 35. And so I forget how much money you end up getting. I think it's like $70 or something.
Well, you don't get it. You don't get any money. Remember?
Really? Do you not?
You might
That's
get
right.
some later, but you don't. Because he knows you're a thief. Like, there's no.
That's right. I guess he doesn't actually give you money.
Because you don't get the money until after the auction, and
That's right.
Between then and the auction and now, some stuff goes down and.
Oh
you
yeah,
shoot up
yeah,
the
with
town.
Cornwall and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, who is it? Like, is it what's his name? Leopold? I can't remember what happened.
Yes. Yeah. It's Strauss.
Okay. So you have
It's,
to kind of go into town, and there's a big shootout, and Strauss ends up getting shot.
Leopold
And
Strauss.
what did you do? Did you do his missions? I know we talked about this a little bit.
I did a lot of Leopold Strauss missions. So he's the bookkeeper and the loan shark for the gang, and he sends you on different missions to collect money for the gang. Obviously, you can either rough some people up and steal their stuff, or take different possessions of them, or you can just straight up kill them, and then the game gives you an option to loot their house or take their horse or different things. Different things like that, just to increase the gang's bounty
Right.
or increase the gang's pot and the sum of how much money they have. So obviously, what they're trying to do is at the end of Towards Valentine, Strauss gets taken because obviously he knows the books, and Cornwall captured
That's
him.
who it is. It's Cornwall.
Yeah, so Cornwall is the guy that you robbed.
Time and time again, on accident. Usually.
Time and time again. Yeah, on accident. But he was the one that you took the banknotes from that you stole.
Yeah, off the train.
That you haven't sold yet because they're hot right now. You don't sell them until later in the story. So, Arthur and Micah and what's his name, Dutch, are all having a meeting about, hey, this is what we need to do to get some more money. One last job, we can get out of here.
Oh my, that's another line. Dutch has got like 3 lines. One last job. If you would have some faith in me, Arthur, I miss the days where I was your god.
Yeah, it's just like, dang, Dutch. So the loan shark of the camp gets caught, and you
go rescue that boy.
You gotta save him. So it turned out to be a huge, big battle in this super small town of Valentine. Poor people. But, whatever. They've had some bad run of luck.
You killed all their dogs.
Yeah. I didn't kill dogs until I got to the big city.
Ah, okay. But, so you started. You're like, no, I'm not going to kill the dogs yet, but they're getting kind of annoying. And then you got to the big city, and you're like, it's over.
Yep. Yeah, it's over. You gotta throw dynamite places that shouldn't be.
Yeah. Okay. So you you get to Strauss, and you get him up on a in a wagon. And it doesn't have a horse on it, though. So you had to push the wagon, through the mud and the gunk. And the Pinkertons and the cops all around you. You're shooting them. And you finally get to a point where you can get on your horses and ride out of town. Because clearly you have to leave now because the cops are going to be on you.
Exactly.
And the Pinkertons are working for Cornwall, so they're going to be on you. So you have to pretty much leave Valentine immediately. You have to, but first you don't leave it immediately because you have to find a place to go.
Mm-hmm. So you go track down this place. It's this old. You go
to the lake.
That's right. Yeah. You go to the lake, which is Clemens Point, and
you help this you help this German couple, this German family, really.
Yeah, I got something to say about that later, which was actually pretty cool. Okay. So you help this German family, and you find this place, which ends up. It's actually a pretty nice little
spot.
Yeah, a little spot.
This is where you learn
it's
how to fish too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you take John's boy on fishing trips, and it's nice. It's a nice location, really pretty. It's outside of what town is it outside of?
I guess I
should have had the map pulled up.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. It's dang, what is it? It's I got it on the back of my mind, but yeah, it's outside this little town, about the same size as Valentine, I guess.
Yeah. So in this one, it's pretty cool in the sense of you bring down a moonshine operation, and after that, it turns out to be like a family war with a whole bunch of love letters.
Wait, no, that's not.
So what'd
that's
you
not this yet, is it? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it is.
You're right. That is this. My bad. Yeah, you're right.
I didn't think it was either, but
the state is Lemoyne.
Yeah.
You're in the state of Lemoyne,
Yeah.
which I guess is like Louisiana. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember that moonshine mission because I had a lot of fun on that one because I was just throwing dynamite and watching everybody blow up.
That is fun. You definitely get to do. This was actually a pretty fun spot because the game had opened up in Valentine, but you kind of just stayed around Valentine. Not that you weren't free to explore wherever you wanted, but now the game is getting bigger. You got to travel a little bit further. You got to do a little bit more, and with this moonshine operation, you're jumping back from plantation to plantation, and you're just doing. You're helping these two families.
Both sides. You're helping
exactly.
yourself. You're not helping anybody but yourself.
That's true. You're helping yourself, and what ends up happening is these two families are in a feud, and you get deputized.
It gets insane towards the end, but yeah, you get deputized because one of the Grays, the sheriff belongs to that family.
Mm-hmm.
So you get deputized. You and Dutch and maybe one more person.
I think it's just you and Dutch.
You get deputized because you lied to the sheriff, and you meet. The way you kind of gain his trust is they're transporting some prisoners, and one of those prisoners is Trelawney, who is a kind of member of your gang, kind of not member of your gang,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to set him free, but at the same time you want to gain their trust of the sheriff. So you let them go, and you capture everyone but Trelawney.
Yep.
Which gains you the trust of the sheriff, and he ends up giving you deputy badges for it.
Which is hilarious. And so you can't do certain things when you're deputized. Like, you can't pull out your gun in different places because, like, you're a deputy. You shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, I just want to kill this person so bad. Please just
let me kill
rip
him
off
real
this
quick.
stupid pet. Exactly. But it's actually a pretty cool sequence of events. It's you got to, like, sneak into this plant to the... What's the other person's name? Not the Grays. Thank you, the Braithwaites. You got to sneak into there and give the Grays a love letter, and then obviously have to take one
give
back.
The girl and the guy.
The girl and the guy. You got to give the Braithwaite woman a love letter from
the gray boy.
The gray boy, who is a white boy. He's not gray, but yeah, it's actually a pretty fun.
I liked Clemens Point a lot. You got to fish.
I did too.
You got to do a lot of missions. I didn't like playing blackjack as much as I like playing Texas Hold'em, which is
I will agree.
You played blackjack in this area, and you played Texas Hold'em and Valentine. But
yeah, I enjoyed that. It was fun. It was.
You see how crazy Miss Adler is.
Oh,
guys,
yes.
you are on a mission with her, and she's so desperate to prove herself. You're coming back from getting groceries, and you get jumped by this gang. And Arthur is kind of trying to calm him down, and Sadie just runs over him and kills all of them.
And you end up having to shoot them all.
Gosh.
And I'm like, yes, Sadie Adler.
I do not like her.
And it's funny because before that, she's just talking. She goes into town and she's wearing normal. Normal in the sense of clothing women wore back then, as in dresses and other things. So she's wearing, like a dress, and then, she goes into town to help with all this stuff, and she comes back and she has an outlaw outfit on, which looks incredible. And Arthur's like, "Oh, you got new clothes?" And she's like, "Yeah, figured I'd dress the part."
Yeah, they kind of tease it for it, but it's all in good fun. But she's insane.
She's insane. I love it though. I love her so much.
Yeah, and at the same time, this is kind of where I was going from. I was starting to try to move away from killing everybody at this time in my story. I think I let one of the guys go. Maybe I tried to shoot him in the leg, and I was like, I could shoot this guy in the head, but I don't. I feel like he's just one guy, and it's not like it's going to stop this entire gang from coming after us.
The town is Rhodes.
Thank you. Yeah, Rhodes.
You're welcome.
Rhodes.
And so this is chapter 3. If you were wondering about the chapters in the game and how it's doing or how it's progressing from location to location.
Yeah. So let's see what happens after that.
After that, that's the only really big things I could remember about.
There's a bunch of big things. A lot happens in Rhodes.
Why didn't I type all this down then? Let me think.
You don't remember?
So I'm trying to remember. It's been like a week since I played this game.
You keep playing. I think it's been longer than that, actually.
Yeah, I think it's
playing
probably
both
2 weeks.
sides.
Yeah, I remember that.
The moonshine operation, you get with the Braithwaites. No, wait. You do the moonshine operation for the Greys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then you steal some of the moonshine from the Greys.
And sell it.
From the Braithwaites.
From the Braithwaites.
You go to sell it to the Braithwaites.
To the Greys.
No. You go to sell it to the Braithwaites.
Yes, thank you. Oh my god.
It's the Braithwaites moonshine,
Yeah.
and the old woman who's the head of the family is like, "It's our moonshine." And Hosea, I love Hosea. He's like, "You know what, ma'am? I checked up and down, and nearest as I can see, it ain't got your name on it."
Freaking Hosea, he's so funny. Because it's like, what are you gonna do?
She's like,
we're selling this to
you. And so she ends up giving you like $10 per jug and tells you to go give it out for free at the local saloon.
Yep. And then after that, you give it out, and it's such a fun mission. What's his name that he goes by? You get Arthur becomes a bartender.
Oh, you're talking about
Cletus?
it's like Cletus or something. He tells
Yeah,
everybody
and
that he's dumb. Like he got kicked by a horse or something.
But don't get him angry. He killed our mama.
He choked our mom to death. I like they're like 30 years apart. Arthur and Hosea.
Yeah. And it's like, this is hilarious. You finally get to, what is it? You get to it's something simple. You get to bartend and it's fun.
And then of course, goes wrong because
it goes wrong. I swear.
And this, I really feel like that Rockstar did this on purpose because it started to wear on me. But it's not that I didn't start to dislike the game because of it, because I felt like I was Arthur. You know what I mean? It's another mission's gone wrong. And Duchess, have some faith, Arthur.
One more job.
Just one more job.
We just need a little more money.
And I'm like, but I wasn't that bad at this point. I was just kind of like, dang, it went bad because it's only a couple, big missions in. And so you do you give out the money, not the money, the moonshine, and somebody busts in, the cops bust in, and you had to jump off the balcony and run away.
Before we finish chapter 3, we got to talk about one of the missions that took me by surprise, but also was pretty meaningful for me. So, what happens is, the backstory of this mission, Arthur, before I even tell you that, what happens is, Micah, I'm pretty sure it's Micah, goes to Dutch and is like, hey Dutch, I know where the O'Driscolls are. And he's like, O'Driscolls? We gotta go kill them. So they ride out and they're getting ready to, fight the O'Driscolls, and Arthur's up on a ledge with a sniper rifle. Yeah, there's sniper rifles in this game. I know it sounds weird to say, but it's actually kind of cool. So Arthur's up on the ledge, getting ready. Got Colm O'Driscoll in his sights, gonna take him down.
Yeah, they've decided. The entire point, I'd forgotten why they met, but they said that they wanted a treaty, basically.
Yeah. They wanted truce. What is it? Colm O'Driscoll killed Dutch's sister. No, killed Dutch.
Colm O'Driscoll.
He killed, O'Driscoll killed Dutch's, wife. Or wife, the lady he loved. And then Dutch killed, his daddy.
His brother.
His brother, thank you. Yeah. And so Arthur gets captured, which kind of took me by surprise. I didn't expect that to happen at all.
I was kind of waiting for something like that to happen.
Really?
It felt too... Okay. I don't know. The information... I think you're right. The information came from Micah, and I didn't really trust Micah. So I was kind of waiting for the shoe to drop on that.
Got it. At that time, I still didn't trust Micah, but I thought, I might get shot or something, or Dutch will get shot, which I'm okay with, because, Dutch is a dick. But, so... Yeah, Arthur gets captured, and they take all your stuff, and I'm like, dang it, all my stuff. That sucks. And then, they hang you up and they torture you a little bit, and you obviously get out, and that's when you get you get some cool throwing tomahawks, which you get to, run around camp, and you kill all the O'Driscolls, and you finally get away.
This is one of the missions where I was just like, I'm killing everyone that I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I killed them. I killed their horses.
Wow, holy crap.
Yeah, I tomahawked the horses in the head.
Dang, man, that's hardcore.
I was like, all of them are dying. And then I ran around the area for a little bit and, had to make sure. Mm-hmm. And,
dang, man. I tried. Go ahead. Sorry.
This one guy was like, I'm going to tell somebody. I'm like, you go tell because usually, when it's witness, blah, blah. And I'm like, whatever, you go tell
witness me.
That's right. I'm like, you go tell everyone that I killed all these people. I want people to know. So, what were you going to say?
I was, gonna kill everybody, but because you're hurt because they tortured you and you got shot, I think.
It is harder. It is a difficult mission.
Hard, you miss people. And I was after the third time I missed, I was just like, I got to get out of here before I get shot.
Because you're all dehydrated, you haven't eaten, you're beat up. You got I'm pretty sure you got a broken rib.
You've got there's a scene if you've seen The Revenant, the main character in The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, I can't think of his name, but he gets attacked by a bear and he has to cauterize one of his wounds, and he does it with gunpowder and you do kind of the same thing in here. You pour some gunpowder on one of your wounds and stick a cigar to it, and it cauterizes the wound. So that's pretty cool. So you escape from from the O'Driscolls and go back to and get back to Dutch.
Mm-hmm. So after that happens, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Arthur, you're safe!" And you can kind of tell that Arthur's, like, I guess, view of the gang is changing. Like, I hate all of you. Like, you just left me.
It's not just the gang. It's more like the
Dutch
of the life. Just the
mm-hmm. life
in general. I think. And you get to the camp and you like basically pass out and you wake up. Like, I think we don't wake up. It cuts to like a couple weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
Your hair is longer and your beard's longer. And this is one of those moments I was talking about earlier in the podcast when I said that I don't I decided like I don't care as much. So I didn't cut my hair for a while. I started shooting people that I didn't have to shoot as much, more.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of generally was like, I'm tired of this. I'm just pissed off, in the game and in my real life.
Yeah, because it's a depressing, angry time of the game. Like, you're left, you're tortured, you have to fight your way out of this terrible situation. So, what do? Of course, they go attack the town. And they're just like, they find out that, after the whole stuff.
No, that's not what happens. That's not what happens. They get called to the town by the Greys.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Which leads to them.
By the sheriff.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's why this is not a solo.
This is one adventure. Of the few things that he didn't write down in his extensive notes.
Can you go ahead and explain to the people what happens?
Okay, yeah. So you get called to the town by the sheriff.
Okay, now it comes back to me. That does make sense.
Yeah, and you walk to town, and someone just shoots Sean in the head.
Yeah,
and he's dead. And he's super dead. And everyone's freaking out like, "Oh my gosh, they shot Sean. They shot the kid. You bastards!" So I'm still in my excuse me, and my pissed off funk where I just got captured by the Driscolls. My hair's still long. I'm gross and dingy. I haven't taken a bath in a while. So I shoot every person in the freaking town that I can find in the head.
That's
I swear.
Right.
I was just pissed off. I was like, this is stupid. And then we shoot all the people all the cops and everything that had run out and tried to kill everybody. And it gets to where you walk up to the sheriff's office and they're like, "Come on out, sheriff. It's just over. You can't win." And he walks out and he had taken somebody hostage.
Yeah, I honestly forget who it was, but obviously we don't want this person to die.
Let me look it up.
So it's just
who does the sheriff?
Exactly. Who does the sheriff capture? Because I was just like, I don't really care if this person dies. I feel like it's Bill. I think it's Bill.
It might be Bill. Hold on, let me check.
Because it's not Micah. Because I would have been like, kill the guy, kill him.
Great
I don't care.
Not always wise.
Exactly.
That's from the Red Dead. That's from the original Red Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Red Dead Redemption 2, Road Chef, Gray.
Who's he capture? Does he capture Bill? I think it's Bill. So, I would have been okay. I think it was Bill, but it's fine.
But he captures Bill or whoever. I don't remember who it was.
Exactly.
Just it's been Bill. A while. And I just shoot them all in the head.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, this is over.
Yeah, I did the same thing. So, obviously, after all this happens, you get back together with Dutch, and you're like, "Hey, this is what happened." And Dutch is like, "Oh no, like, I guess we gotta go take care of this business." And you fight the Braithwaites, which is actually a pretty cool fight.
It is, Bill. It is, you're right.
Okay. Because I was thinking, it's not Micah. Because if it was Micah, I'd been like, "Please kill him. Just, can I kill him?" Like,
yeah, I know, right? I would not want to. So after you kill everyone in the town that's trying to kill you, you get Bill and you take Sean's body and you get out of there.
Mm-hmm. And then you go fight the Braithwaites, which is actually a pretty cool fight sequence.
This is one of my favorite moments, actually. This is one of my favorite parts of the entire game, I would say.
Really? What'd you like so much about it?
It just looked cool.
It did.
So you find out that Jack, who is John's son, is missing. And then you look around, you're like, okay, he's just a kid. It's not like if one of the grown people in the camp went missing, they could take care of themselves at least a little bit. But it's a child, so they have to figure out where he is. So you get some information that it might be the Braithwaites.
Yeah, so after that, you don't really second guess any of that. You're like, okay, we're just going to ride in there, guns blazing, like we're going to mess everybody up.
Yep.
And you attack the Braithwaite Manor. And
oh, man, it's so cool. There's this scene where it has everybody walking towards. It's like the most cowboy thing in the entire movie. Mm-hmm. Like it has like everybody in a line. It's dark. The manor is it just look kind of looming over you. It's just like this. It's going to be this. This is like it's like a dark time, I guess. Once the animation has gone bad, everyone's feels like they're kind of on edge. But since Jack is kind of keeping everyone together.
Yeah, they put their squabbles aside. It's not you're not worried about anybody. Kind of, you're all there for the boy. You're all there to save a child, and that's what it's all about.
Yep.
So you.
And this was kind of I don't know. It was kind of pulling me out of my funk, but at the same time, I was still pissed off because these a-holes took Jack.
Yeah, and you run up on those dudes.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy, dude. When you get there at first, you're like, just give us the boy, we'll leave, and they're like, you did this, you did that. You thought we were idiots, like we were backwoods hicks, and now we got one over on you. And they're like, this is not how you do things. You don't take a child.
Which, and I was like, good for you, Dutch. At least Dutch wasn't like...
Oh, Dutch, he has morals. He's just kind of... It almost feels like he's losing his mind over this.
Exactly,
this
and that's... Yeah. So, and, like Ryan said, they were like, give us the boy. And they're like, no.
We will give you the boy. And so we're like... Bet.
Okay, fine. You all die.
So you kill literally everyone in the house except for the woman.
And then you drag her outside.
Dude, oh my gosh, dude. I love this little chapter so much. Let's talk about actually going into the house though, real quick.
Okay, so it gives you a double-barrel shotgun, which is really cool. Obviously, you probably more than likely already have a shotgun at this moment in time, but it equips the shotgun to you, and you use it during this mission.
Yeah, I had the sawed-off shotgun. I don't think I had like a double-barrel shotgun.
Yeah, so I already had a double-barrel shotgun.
Of course you did.
It gives you one for this mission because, it's close range. It's a double-barrel shotgun. You're going to be inside, close quarters. You can just blow holes in people.
Yeah, so I think around this time, I don't know if I may be reading too deep into this, but like I said, I'd kind of started seeing maybe that because of Jack, maybe I don't want to kill everybody. So I didn't really technically don't think I killed everybody, but man, I blew a lot of people's legs off. I turned around the corner, I saw a guy, and I shot his leg off.
I aimed for everyone's throat so that they would become decapitated.
Oh, I just amputated their legs. I didn't decapitate them.
No, I didn't want them to have a head anymore. So
yeah, there was one person that I shot him in the head. And then you kill some of like all her family and stuff that's in there except for a couple of them. And you find her and you drag her by her hair. And you're like, where is Jack? Where is Jack? I don't know how good my Dutch impression is.
That's pretty good.
And you're talking to Mrs. Braithwaite. Is her name Catherine?
Sure.
I feel like her name might be Catherine.
I think her name's Catherine.
And you're interrogating her. Where is he? Where is he? And she's like, I'd never tell you. And then you're like, you killed my boys. You killed my boys. Like, you took a child. This is not how you do things, ma'am. and then she's like, you can't. I only have a couple of children left or whatever. So you at this point you've been like dragging her, and you drag her in front of her one or two kids that she has left alive, and you shoot them both in the head in front of her, and she's like, no. And you drag her out by her head down the stairs and everything.
And to add insult to injury, you light the house on fire.
Yeah, the house is burning down at this point.
And it's just
oh my gosh, it looks so cool.
It does.
You drag her out of the house, and behind you, the house is just in flames. Just imagine this big plantation house just burning to the ground. And she's like, for having a mental breakdown, understandably. And then you finally get her to admit that she gave Jack to this guy who's in this different city, and you're like, okay, fine. and I wanted to kill her so badly.
I know.
But it wouldn't let you.
I know.
Although I'm pretty sure she dies. Because...
Oh, yeah, she runs back in the
like,
house.
just leave her. And so she runs back into the burning house, and you go off to try to find Jack.
Yep. So, and then it turns into... I honestly think one of my favorite chapters... I think it might be my favorite chapter.
I think, yeah.
In the game.
I can see that. It might be mine. I'm not sure, though.
Just there's so much... So, okay. So the city you go to is called Saint Denis. It's based off of real life New Orleans, which is really cool.
You have to leave, obviously. You have to leave the area that you're in, and you end up going to like an old like antebellum home. Is that what you do next?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you load up, and you got to find a new place, and obviously which is kind of funny because in the game you feel that you shouldn't stay around this area anyway, but you don't move very far from Clements Point to Shady Belle.
No, it's not that far.
It's not that far at all.
But Shady Belle is where you stay. But like Jordan said, the actual town or city that you go to is Saint Denis.
Mm-hmm. So this is
Saint Denis. They call it Saint Denis.
That's true. So this is rolling into chapter 4, and chapter 4 is there's a lot that happens, but simply put, obviously you're new to town, and you find out the person's name, Angelo Bronte. So you're going around town, asking people, have you heard? You can either ask nicely or mean, so you go.
I thought it was interesting to see when Dutch and Arthur first get to Saint Denis. You can kind of see what they're fighting against, because they hate this because it's like mucky and just smog coming up from the early factories of the late 19th century, and you really I don't know, it's kind of interesting to see what they're fighting against. Exactly,
like this is an actual city that's been built up, and so you're being shown around the city after learning this guy's name, and these kids are like, I'll show you where Angelo Bronte is, and you're like, okay, mister. Cool, and they rob you, And for the record, you can't kill children because I tried.
Didn't you?
I did, and it will not let you shoot children. Like, I'm pretty sure you can't even aim your gun at them. So you can't kill the children that robbed you. So you finally find out the guy's name. You get an audience with him because that's who Dutch is. Dutch just rolls up and sweet talks his way into people's hearts, and you get Jack back, which is pretty cool. Then obviously.
Well, you make a deal. You have to make a deal.
You make a deal. You make a deal to get Jack back.
You'll do
a job
for Bronte in exchange for Jack.
Yep. So you got to stop some grave diggers that are grave robbing the local.
Oh, another thing. Before we moved, actually, I decided to get a haircut and shave because it's my new fresh shot look on life.
Okay. Cool.
I got to save Jack, and I found that there's more to life than every freaking mission you go on failing. So I got a haircut and I shaved.
I stayed all emo. So yeah, you do a deal with the devil essentially. And it's like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing for you. You give us the boy bag, and you're like, okay, cool. So Dutch stays there and has tea and crumpets or whiskey or whatever with Angelo Bronte, and you and John go do the mission, which is to stop the grave robbers from stealing crap out of the graveyard. And you save him, you get Jack back, then you get to go to a party, a fancy smancy party. But before you go to the party, you got to get all pretty, so you can cut your hair and get a suit and shave your beard, and that's kind of cool. I did cut my hair a couple lengths, but I kept the beard. And the dialogue in this game is perfect. And the barber goes, "Aren't you sure? You sure you don't want to cut that?" And Arthur's like, "No, it's fine." Like, I can't really do an Arthur impression, but it's like, it's fine. So you go to the party and you get some information on pretty much like what the next big, we just need some more money. We just need to do one more mission.
We just need more money.
Yep. So
have some faith, Arthur.
So you have a little bit of faith, and you get ready for, a poker game on a boat.
I was going to talk about. You don't want to talk about the party?
Oh, well, yeah, I figured, that's just like,
I want to talk about because you kind of supposed to like Bronte, like he's obviously he's not a good person, but he felt like he might be kind of a kindred spirit,
Mm-hmm.
like he's an outlaw basically, that basically owns this town. But then you get to the party and it's obvious, like you're in a fancy suit, you, Bill, and a couple others, Dutch, but then Bronte's just talking to you just like you're just trash.
Like,
and Dutch just gives him this look like, I want to kill you. I want to kill you right here. And I can't really blame him because the dude is a bastard.
yeah, he's treating you. It made me feel bad as a person. Like, I'm just like, man, this guy's talking down to me. I'm just a piece of crap. Like, I'm not worth anything. Like, this is like attacking your character, attacking you as a person. It's just like, So you sneak back into the mansion as the party's going on to collect some information. Honestly, I forget what the information is, but you follow his worker around and get a letter. I think it has to do with the Native Americans, if I remember right.
No, hold on.
So, yeah, you sneak back into the party, follow his worker around, and you get some information, as well as talking
that's right. I was trying to remember, yeah. I
Because the chief is at the party, and they're making fun.
That's right.
And that's not where you first meet them, but that's where you.
Wait, I think it is, isn't it? Well, that's where you first meet the chief. Well, you don't, because no, I'm sorry. You don't actually meet them. You just kind of see them.
No,
right?
you just Angelo Bronte's just like, hey, and those are the natives, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, you meet them a little later on the street. That's where I met them at least.
Yeah. And so they, the party goes on, and it's kind of just like you're gathering intel about the city and about Angelo Bronte and kind of how things are and different stuff. And you get the letter for the, what's it called? Oh my gosh, words. For the Native Americans, and you have to go do some missions for them to help them get their land back, and yeah, then you go to the party on the boat, which is one of my favorite things in the game.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It is, you think maybe like, yeah, the cities are going to be developed, and so are the details and all that, but the boat is just as detailed and just as fleshed out as any other instant, if you want to call it that, in the game. It is beautiful and the details are surreal. I really wish you could just continually go back to this boat and play poker because it's so much fun.
Yeah, you're supposed to win at poker, so but you don't really. That's not the point though. You want to win so they can take you to their vault and give you the money, and then when you get to their vault to give you the winnings, you rob them.
Yep.
Yawning? You tired?
Yeah, I was. Yep. I didn't think you could hear that. I thought it was a silent yawn, but yeah,
No,
a little worn out. This is a long one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So back to the story. So you play poker, which is really cool. You use Strauss to make sure you can win, and then obviously you up the ante, and you're like, okay, I'm going to get he's like, I'll give you my pocket watch. And you're like, okay, whatever. He's like, oh, it's worth a lot of money. So, you win, you loot the safe, you kill some people, you escape the boat, and you finally get back to town. You escape the boat, finally get back to camp.
Yeah,
in town.
I like how they had no plan to get off the boat.
Exactly. They're like, what's the plan for getting off the boat? And he's like, I don't know.
Just jump off the side of it.
Yep. And so, at this moment, you're thinking, okay, all this stuff has happened, or at least I am thinking this. We're gonna get back to normal. We're gonna do some more heists, some stuff's gonna happen. Nope, the O'Driscolls attack the camp, and it's just like, surprise, we're here to kill you all. And obviously, being a man-centric game, Dutch is like, Arthur, gun some people, shoot some people. And he's like, Mrs. Adler, stay inside. And she's like, oh, hell no. Of course, being Sadie Adler, she's going to jump out of a window and shoot some people. And Arthur has to save her, and then, it turns into this big, huge battle.
I understand that, she helps a lot, but man, I feel like she hurt, she hurt so much, doing stupid stuff.
Oh, yeah, running out that back door to kill the O'Driscolls.
It's so lucky she didn't get the entire gang killed multiple times.
Exactly. So, she just opened up their defenses in the back, and Arthur's like, "Where's Sadie?" And it's like, she's outside running around and, killing people. So,
Yep, so you gotta rescue her, basically.
Yep. And you kill all the O'Driscolls, or most of them, all the ones that rode up to the camp. And then, you can tell that, things are getting more and more, I guess, like, hectic and more hyped. Because things, you can tell the chapter is, like, winding up. It's starting to get towards the end of the chapter. You rob a stagecoach, get some dynamite, and then you...
Because you want to blow up a bridge. Is this when you try to blow up the bridge? No, was that later? That's later.
This later.
That's later, okay.
Mm-hmm. So you're right now you're robbing the dynamite to get... Pretty much to, like, prove to this person you can do it, to get a boat, to sneak on to Bronte's mansion. And that's where you...
Okay, that's right, because you decide to get revenge on him or whatever and get some money, right?
Yeah, and so you need the dynamite to do a later job in this chapter. And so then you save this person, you get a boat, they let you use the boat. You got to save this kid from a crocodile, which is kind of cool. That's a cool mission.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then you attack Bronte's mansion, which is a really cool sequence. But it kind of just feels like all the other heist missions, where it's like attack this point, and then get this person. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you roll up in there, you bust up at his mansion, kill all his dudes, and he's just hiding in a bathtub like a baby.
I know. You drag him out like you drug Mrs. Braithwaite.
Mm-hmm.
Except you put him in a boat.
Yep. And you're going back to the place you got the boat from and heading back to camp. And it is, you see the huge crocodile that you saved the kid from, and Dutch is just like,
oh my gosh.
Dutch just throws him over the edge.
He was saying, he was talking like how you aren't men and y'all are cowards and you're nobody. I'm Antonio and Angelo Bronte.
This is my town. And Dutch is just like...
He feeds into a crocodile or an alligator.
Just kicks him over the edge.
And this is kind of when the several members of the gang are like, Dutch is losing his mind. He just fed someone to an alligator.
Yeah, he's like, you just killed that guy on cold blood, man. And he's like...
I can see if I can do my Dutch or my John impression.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jeez, Dutch, you just killed that. You just fed that man to an alligator.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It was
pretty
okay.
Spot
It got
on.
kind of bad towards the end, but yeah, John and Arthur are really the ones, and then later on Charles, really are like, this guy's a psychopath. Like, he's a lunatic. He's gonna get us all killed.
Yeah, and so after that it's slowly been weaving in the Native Americans into the story, and you have to attack I'm pretty sure it's a oil mill. I guess like an oil place where they do oil.
Yeah. I did want to mention one of the most important parts of the story, the entire story earlier. Around this time, Arthur coughs for the first time.
That's true. Yeah, he does.
And I was like, that's interesting. They have like real, like, oh yeah, sometimes you cough,
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, okay, just here, drink some whiskey,
Yeah, that sounds like a cure for back then.
Exactly, you'll be fine.
And you move on. You just kind of move on.
Eat some beans. And so, yeah, you do this mission, which you attack this oil refinery for the Native Americans to get some papers for them for their land, which ends up, get the papers, and obviously it offers you you sneak in there and it offers you the options of, knocking out the people or just torturing them, or beating them or killing them. So,
What did you choose, Jordan?
I killed all of them.
Oh, no.
All of them. So, and then, I have this written down, and I don't know when Arthur said it, but I really like the fact that he said it. Let me find it. Is it on the other page? I think it's on the other. Let me flip pages. Okay. It's, will you count for me? I have some talking to do.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Is that when he holds the guy hostage?
Yeah. He's like,
great.
He's like, can you count? Oh, I remember where. Okay, we can talk about that. Just reminded me that we can. Okay, I know where this is now. That's in.
When does he get captured? When does John get captured?
So John gets captured in chapter 6, and so this is when they use we can talk about it in chapter 6, but it's when they go to the place he's captured at, and Arthur takes that guard and holds the gun to his head and is like, "Would you count for me? I got some talking to do."
Yeah,
He's
I love
like,
it. I love it.
"Bring out John Marston now." Okay, but the explosive cherry on top of chapter 4 is called Banking, the Old American Art. So obviously, as the title of the last arc in this chapter it is a bank robbery. And yeah, it's kind of successful, you know?
Wait. I'm trying to... Go ahead, sorry. I'm just
Okay, so the bank robbery happens. You know, they roll up in the bank, you know, Hosea and I forget who else. I think it's Charles. They do the explosion to cause a distraction. And, you know, then they start robbing the bank and they get in there and they're cracking you're cracking the safes as Arthur and you're getting all the stuff. And then the Pinkertons show up, like a lot of them.
At this point, Pinkertons and cops have showed up a lot when you're like, how are they showing up this quickly? And I was like, something must be happening. Somebody is squealing.
I thought it was Dutch.
No, I thought it was Micah.
Okay. So yeah, you're in the process of a bank robbery, and you know they're firing, and you know the Pinkertons are like, "We got Hosea, Dutch," and you know Hosea's like, "Don't give him anything, just leave," you know, and you figure out a way to escape. Man, you blow a hole.
Is this when?
Yeah.
He just shoots him.
Yeah. He just shoots
straight up. Just shoots Hosea, an old unarmed man.
Yep, in the head, and
he shoots him in the chest.
That's right.
Because he's like, Dutch.
That's
I'm
right.
Sorry, or something.
Yeah, and so you blow a hole in the wall. So you know, like, this is a really like emotional time because it's just like, okay, Hosea died. That sucks.
Yeah. Once again, I'm pissed off.
So it's just like, fine, I'm gonna get out there. You know, it's like, get to the roof. We're gonna kill all of them. Avenge Hosea. And it's like, okay, so you start killing all these people.
Man,
and then
somebody else dies.
Yep. And then so as you're getting away, they shoot Lenny.
Poor Lenny.
And he dies, the kid. And you know, like Dutch is like, come on, we don't got time for this.
They got ready.
And Arthur actually takes a minute. Like it's not you. It's not like you don't take a minute as the player. Like the game takes a minute, and you like kneel down, and, like look at Lenny, and you're like, and you could tell like he's like heartbroken and angry about it, and just like
Arthur is going from a man with questionable morals. Like he has morals, but they're for his gang. He's questioning not only Dutch, but he's questioning what loyalty is worth, I think, and who he should be loyal to, and like why are we doing this? We can't. Yeah. He makes a statement several times throughout the game. You know, we can't do this forever. The world is changing, and we need like you're gonna die, or you're gonna change with it. You know, and Dutch has got this crazy idea to go to Tahiti or Australia.
Idiot. Yeah.
Yeah. And then ends up getting Lenny and Hosea killed, and Sean.
You know, a Hosea quote. Everyone is the author of their own good fortune, and it's just like, you know, I wrote down so many different quotes from this game, and it's just like some of them just ring true. So, like, you know, even in real life, it's just like Dutch's, you know, not as frequent quote, revenge is a fool's game. But that's what he does most of the time. He's freaking revenge.
He's hypocritical.
Exactly.
He's very hypocritical. And then later, actually, no, it doesn't happen yet. The O'Driscoll that they picked up and ended up adding to their gang. Mm-hmm. What's his name? Do you remember?
I don't.
But yeah, he ends up getting killed.
Yeah. So everybody thinks he's the snitch. So obviously, Dutch's big plan, he's like, we're going to get a boat, we're going to sail to Tahiti, blah, blah. So, you know, they escape to the boat, they get on the boat.
No, they go back to Shady Belle first, don't they? No, that's later.
No,
that's later.
No.
That's later.
No, they get on the boat, and guess what happens? The boat gets shipwrecked in Guarma, which is close to India, apparently.
No, it's not. What?
No?
No.
My bad.
It's in the, how would it be close to India?
I don't know. I'm not a geologist.
Think about how long that would take
Okay, that would take forever.
India
but
in 1899
anyway, they get shipwrecked, and this wasn't as impactful as I thought it would be.
At this point, I was like, the game's about to end. I swear
That's
it
what
had
I
20
thought.
hours more after this.
That's what I thought, but it was like, nope. It's like, this is just a, surprise. This isn't the end of the game. This is just chapter 5. And this one is like drawn out, but
I thought this was the shortest chapter in the game.
It feels drawn out because you got to do multiple things, but it's not that long really. It's it's super quick. So you get shipwrecked. You're like, oh man, I'm like on this island by myself. You get put into it. You find the people, and you're like, sweet. And Dutch is like, oh, we just got to make some money, and then we can get back to the gang.
We gotta make some money.
So you get put in
also, Dutch kills an old woman.
That's true.
In Guarma, he just chokes her to death, or he slams her head up against the wall or something and kills her.
Yep. And Arthur's like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Dutch, what is wrong with you? You just killed an old woman.
Yep.
Dutch is basically like, I can speak Spanish, Arthur. She said she was going to betray us. And then Arthur's like, really? And Dutch is basically just like, no. I could just see it in her eyes.
It's like, what? So they capture John. You help liberate some people. There was a battle. You get to use the Gatling gun and shoot a big ship. That's fun. You got to stop a war from happening. Guarma.
Guarma.
Old Guarma.
But yeah, you get back.
Yep, you get back to America, and this is like chapter 5, and it just explodes.
You kind of get back to. Do you go back to Saint Denis? You do, don't you?
You go back to Saint Denis, then you gotta.
I'm thinking the guy already died. I think because you don't go back to the house. No,
you do go back to the house and you find a letter.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of when that guy dies. The O'Driscoll dies. He dies. Oh. He already died because they sent him his decapitated head into. And then they attacked.
Then they attacked. Yeah.
And then that's kind of why you decided you need to leave again. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. So you make it back to America, And
I went up to a bar, and because your horse isn't with you, and I stole the closest horse to me, which was that horse that ended up being the temporary horse I was talking about that kept following me around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that horse.
Me too. That was mine.
And that horse actually ended up being critical in the end.
So you make it back to Shady Bells, and you find a letter using aliases talking about, Uncle, thanks for all that you've done for us, blah, blah, blah. This is where we moved to, in case this letter finds you well. And it's like, that's a really weird place to leave a letter, but sure, whatever. Obviously, the Pinkertons show up, and they're like, no one's here. No one's been here forever. And they're like, wait, I hear something. And it's like, okay, now we get to kill a couple of you or knock them out. Either or. Your choice is yours. I killed them. And then you make it to what I honestly can't remember whatever the new place is because it's just a temporary place.
You're not there for very long.
No. Sadie Adler's kind of taking command, I guess.
It was Sadie and I guess. Well, I guess Dutch is still there, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Dutch is back now.
That's right. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, he was with you. I forgot. Yeah, Dutch was with you. It was
shipwrecked.
Like Sadie and John or something kind of took charge of the gang while they were gone.
Yeah, I think John was with you too.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah. It was.
So
I don't
Sadie,
remember who it was.
Just Sadie.
Anyway,
I think it was just So Sadie kind of taking command, and she was, she's kind of like you can tell that she's developed as a character because she's like, do this, get that, blah blah blah, and then what happens? The Pinkertons show up, and then she's pretty much like, I'm fighting. What do you think I've been doing since you guys have been gone? Okay. And so, you get to sneak up around the back. And
use a Gatling gun.
It's awesome.
Just cut people down.
It is so cool. And then you move, to Bear Hollow.
Which is...
Beaver Hollow.
Which...
Bear Hollow.
Is that... I guess that's the last place you stay, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is. Beaver Hollow is the last place you stay. It's the final chapter, and there is so much to cover in this final chapter that we are definitely not going to cover it all, just because we don't want to ruin the whole game for you, but also that would make this...
We don't want to spend all day.
That's also true. We do have lives outside of this podcast, and this podcast would be like 3 hours. So, yeah. So you find out in this chat. Do you want to just go ahead and tell them the terrible news?
You start coughing more and more while you're on Guarma, while you're trying to get back to the gang, after you do the Gatling gun thing, while you're helping the Indians with their trials and tribulations. You keep coughing. So you go to the doctor. You're like, I gotta go to the doctor, and you find out you have tuberculosis, which is essentially a death sentence.
Yep, because there is no cure there's no cure for it in this time period. And you're kind of just like, dang, and it's just like, that sucks. The doctor's like, can you move, you need to move further out west, and you need to basically settle down and stop working, because then you'll live a lot longer. And he's like, can you do that? And Arthur's like, not exactly. And just like, dang. So it's funny the way my interaction with that doctor went down.
Did you kill him?
Is different. No, I robbed him before. So he's like, you expect me to help you after you robbed me? And he was like, please, I have money. And he's like, fine, I'll help you. And it was like, dang, like this game dialogue is intense. Like, it's awesome the way they do it. So, trying to remember all the stuff that happens in this chapter, but I guess I don't need to since it's been 2 weeks since I played this game. But one of my favorite things is Sadie Adler, her little mission in this one. You finally get to take care of. She finally gets to kill all the O'Driscolls. You get to see Colm O'Driscoll hang, which is nice. Sadie finally gets to take care of the people that killed her husband. And she gets revenge. She straight up just stabs this guy in the chest over and over and over, and then just sits in a chair. And she's like, "I think you're my best friend, Arthur."
Oh,
and I'm like,
I didn't see this part.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You didn't help her?
Nope. She said, "I gotta kill every one of them," and I was like, basically, I can't remember exactly what I said to her, but I was basically just like, "This revenge is a fool's errand. You're digging your grave, Sadie."
Dang, man. I was like, I love you, Sadie. I'm going to help you. I want Arthur and Sadie to get together, but,
What about, Arthur's, what about Arthur's, quote-unquote love life or whatever that he doesn't have, but he had once upon a time?
He doesn't have. You're talking about those sides?
I'm sorry.
Abigail
Mary,
Roberts
Mary,
is John's baby mama.
Mary.
Mary, I showed up to her house the first time back in Valentine, and I was like, I'm not helping you. And then she, there was the whole thing in Saint Denis where she was like, please help me. And I was like, I'm not helping you. And then she sent the ring back. I don't know. I just didn't like her. I was angry at her, and I don't know why. I guess because she rejected Arthur. Yeah. But did you follow that storyline? Did you help her?
Yeah, it didn't take very long. You're just trying to, get something back from her drunk dad, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, screw this lady. I'm not helping her.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
And then you find out, actually, that Arthur had a kid.
Oh, really?
Did you not find that out?
Well, no, I did. I guess I just didn't care.
Yeah, you find it out in that...
you find out the first little mission, when she first sends you that letter.
No. I don't think it was with Abigail, or with Mary. Yeah, because she died. The woman was murdered. Arthur had...
I guess I always assumed that Mary and Arthur had a child anyway. Okay.
I mean, I don't think so. The child's nowhere to be found.
That's true.
Her brother's there, who you, I guess, rescue from those weird, what's they called? A group of people that you don't want to be with.
Bandits?
No.
Misfits?
No. Do you not remember this?
No.
It's the first mission you do, I swear. There's a group of, Marilyn Manson people.
Oh, those in the cave.
No. Oh my gosh, those people are crazy.
They are crazy.
No, I'm talking about the cult. You didn't do that mission?
No.
Never mind then.
No, I didn't.
Well, this was we played this completely differently.
We did, yeah. Apparently there's a Ku Klux Klan mission you can do as well.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So no, I didn't do that mission.
Okay, yeah, so I guess that section's over.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't do the Sadie.
You didn't help Sadie.
I didn't help Sadie. I helped her 2 or 3 times, And
Okay.
every time, it kept getting more and more, and finally I was just like, I don't want to keep doing this.
So, what did you feel about the final chapter? What did you
It
think?
was great. It was great. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. We won't cover it all, but we'll just kind of go. We'll go straight to the.
This is kind of when helping the Native Americans really, I guess,
Mhm.
kind of really comes to a head.
Yeah, exactly. So, you trap some militia people with some trees and some dynamite, which is really cool. It doesn't just show you a cutscene of, the dynamite being loaded or being, triggered
No,
up to
you
the
do
trees,
it yourself.
which is really nice. I enjoyed that, It's just like, good. Another game mechanic, another thing for me to do.
Yeah.
And, so.
Yeah, so the army has kind of gone back on their deal with the Native Americans, and then what's his name? Eagle Flies is like, this. We have to do this. We're not gonna kill anybody. And Dutch is taking advantage of them, and he's like, this. We can help each other, but he only really cares about himself, about helping himself. So he talks to Eagle Flies. And Eagle Fly's dad, Rain Falls, is trying to convince him not to do anything because it's a war that they can't win, but they go through with it anyway. And they trap them, and they're gonna like mock them basically, but of course it ends up in a gunfight.
Yeah, which is crazy because you end up just, there's casualties on both sides. There's a lot of casualties on both sides, and it just turns out to be, you go all the way back up to the reservation and you return Eagle Fly to his dad, and I think he ends up dying. And that's
no, that doesn't happen then. That's later.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
So
Man,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So what happens directly after that? You escape. That's right. And Eagle Fly. I don't know if you get. You don't see Eagle Flies. Because you and Dutch escape like by yourselves basically.
That's right. And then you go do some other stuff, and
You gotta. This is when Dutch is once again. We just need one more big score. Have some faith, John.
Yep. Arthur, we just need one more score. And so as you actually get super sick in this.
Yeah, as time goes on,
chapter.
you get worse and worse.
And you actually just pass out. And then this is going back to what we were saying earlier about the German family you help and save. They actually find you after you passed out in the street, and it's like it's like a cutscene. It's like all blurred, and you can't really remember any of it.
They're like, we helped you. What do they say? You helped us, but we can't help you. Or so, they're like, we're sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And and then you finally get to leave. After they tried to nurse you back to health, and you're back at camp or at the town. I can't remember where, but you're back after they tried to help you. And so what choice did you make towards the end of the game? Did you choose to help John, or did you choose?
Oh, you're skipping ahead a lot. You want to skip ahead that far?
Yeah, kind of.
You don't want to talk about like the cave and all that?
Ooh, that's true. I guess it's just all fuzzy.
Yeah,
to me.
I mean, when you move, and this goes back to how you got to the Beaver. What was it, Beaver Creek? Or
Beaver Hollow.
You had to go in and rescue this woman from these like cannibals and stuff.
Oh yeah, I did like that mission a lot.
Yeah,
That was fun.
yeah, you kill.
It's you and Charles that go in, and you get to kill all these people that eat people, and there's people like strung up on crosses and people upside down. They're you got to save this woman, and so it's like really like actually pretty intense.
Yeah, so that's how you got the camp set up, and then you have one more mission with the Native Americans.
Mm-hmm. And this is like I liked this mission a lot because there was a lot of heart in it, and there was a lot of emotion, and you get to see a lot of people's development just finally come to like that like prima resistance kind of a thing. Yes, that.
But yeah, so you've been talking to Rain Falls, and he's he doesn't want his son to go to war with the army because they can't win, like we said.
Yeah.
And but basically it ends up happening anyway. Dutch basically convinces him to go to war.
Yeah, throughout the whole story, really, you've seen just Dutch just continually stirring the pot just over and over and over to get what he wants.
Just loses his mind, basically.
He does, and he just really fans the flames of the Native Americans, and it's just like, come on, they did this to you, it's their fault, kill them all, and they're just like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
so you burst in, and I can't even remember why you go to that place.
So it's the same place you broke into earlier.
And you're just going to destroy it, or what? I can't.
Yeah, you're just going to destroy it. Just try to, take it. That's what you end up doing. You make it explode, really. So they can't make any more money off of it, and so they can't get weapons and stuff moved in for the army.
So you kind of burst in and shoot the people there, and you and Arthur they get what they want and everything, and Arthur ends up getting manhandled by this guy basically. And he's about to die, right? Mm-hmm. And also we've got to talk about the other train heist.
Oh yeah! Dang.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
There's another train heist.
Okay.
And this is actually really important. I know we're forgetting stuff, but it's been several days for me. It's been 2 weeks with Jordan, so we apologize.
Okay.
We know we're missing some stuff.
Okay, rewind to get to this point of them fighting the army with the Native Americans.
Also, the Reverend has left.
Yep.
Pearson has left.
Tilly left.
No, Tilly's not there because Tilly ends up going with. She hasn't left yet because Tilly takes Jack.
That's right. Thank you.
Is it Molly, the older woman?
Yeah, Molly.
Ends up killing Mary, shoots her in the stomach.
Yep.
Because Mary told somebody that they were outlaws. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you end up, once again, Dutch is, we just need one more score.
And they're like, okay, sure.
And you end up blowing up a bridge, actually, to do the score.
Intense.
Or no, to it's actually in combination with the score, and you want to make a lot of racket, as Dutch puts it, so you can escape and go to Tahiti or wherever.
Yeah, and during this score, John gets shot, and Dutch is just like, I'll get John, just keep going.
And then John dies, apparently.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Or they say dies or gets captured.
Yeah, captured.
And you had already
we couldn't
gotten him out. We didn't cover that either. Dang, I'm sorry. He got we didn't cover how he got out of prison. We did look for.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Okay.
So
rewind again, ladies and gentlemen.
So
this is actually a pretty cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sadie's like, we got to get John out of prison, and so y'all go to Dutch, and he's like, we're gonna have to wait a little while, and everyone kind of says that they're talking about putting him, hanging him, and Dutch is just, puts it off. We can't do it yet. So you and Arthur and Sadie end up going to rescue John. They get on a hot air balloon and kind of scope out the prison he's in.
Yep. Correction. It's just Arthur and the guy because women can't fly in a hot air balloon.
Yeah, I remember that.
Apparently. Yeah. So they scope it out. They finally, get all the stuff, and Sadie gets some boats, and
Then Sadie and John, or Sadie and Arthur, excuse me, go to save John. And that's when Jordan was talking about earlier about the guy talking about, you count for me.
Would you count for me? I got some talking to do. It's like, oh my gosh, I love this.
And then the hot air balloon guy ends up getting shot.
Mm-hmm. And dies. It's honestly Sadie's fault.
It's completely her fault because she had tried to she was going to kill O'Driscolls.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Poor Sadie. She just wants to be an outlaw. So yeah, that happens. So they rescue John. Arthur and John go on this heist together. Arthur finds out that they know Abigail knows where Dutch keeps the key to move where the money is, and she's like, I got the key. And Arthur's like, when we're done with this, you and Abigail and the boy just get out of here.
Yeah, John, Abigail. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, just get. Arthur's telling John, and hey, you're a family man, or be a family man. Get out of here. Yada yada. They blow up the bridge to make a lot of noise, and Arthur's like, let's have us a little nosy. Make some noise to create some division, and then people leave the camp, and Dutch is just getting more and more angry, and then some weird stuff happens.
And then John's when John insists that when Arthur insists that that Abigail, John, and Jack can leave the camp, it looks like Dutch is gonna kill Arthur. He's like, "Oh, you insist?
Insist?
Do you?" And he's like, "Yeah, Dutch, I do insist."
And it's just like, oh my gosh, Dutch is losing his mind.
If you insist, Arthur.
It's like, wow, dude, just calm down.
So yeah, John ends up getting shot, and they're like, he's gone. Okay, now we can kind of move back. And also the train, like you do get some money. You get a lot of money actually from this, and then the train ends up careening off the bridge that you blew up earlier,
which looks awesome. It looks so cool. It's super fun to watch. Yeah. So then, Micah has some friends that show up, and they're like, goons. They're guns. They're hired guns that Dutch allows to be part of the gang now, I guess.
Which is weird. He's supposed to be a family.
Mm-hmm. And they just show up. Karen, throughout all of this, is a drunk now.
Yeah, Karen's a drunk.
Just roaming around town, or roaming around the camp, super drunk. And, so you save John. John gets captured. John's allegedly dead. Or dies, gets captured. And then you go, you do your one last job. Your final job. Your big, thing.
Yeah, this is supposed to, I remember now, this was supposed to be, this was the one last, they were going to rob the place and, like, blow it up, which would make more noise, so you'd have more money, more noise, so you could finally get out of America. As he's finally like, we just need to get out of America, basically. Dutch is like, so that's why you're doing it, just for more money. Mm-hmm. So you get there, fast forward to where we were, you've gotten a little more money, which according to Dutch should be like the last little bit you need. And John, or Arthur, I keep calling it Arthur John, gets like ambushed and knocked down by one of the people in the army. And he's about to die. He's about to just straight up get shot or stabbed. And he looks over and he sees Dutch. And Dutch just walks away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets saved by eagle flies.
Yep. And it's kind of just... And honestly, I thought, like, it was just like, okay, if I die right here, sure. Like, I'd be mad. But that'd be a pretty bad ending. Yeah, like... Just... And that's the ending. Roll credits, and I'd be like, dang.
But it's not over
intense.
Yet.
It's not.
Because you get saved.
Eagle Fly comes in and tomahawks a guy in the face, and it's just like, yes, like that looks awesome. So you get saved, but then
unfortunately, Eagle Flies get shot.
And then you go back out, and Arthur's like, "What the hell, man? Like you left
me to die, Dutch." Arthur, my brother,
I would never,
my son,
I'd never.
Oh my gosh, and then Charles is also in on it. It's mainly Charles, Arthur, and John are the ones that really see Dutch. And Sadie and Abigail also to an extent. I think everyone has seen it to an extent, but some just don't want to see it.
Yeah, and so at this moment, you get out of there and you just got done having a huge fight inside there. The army's descending upon you.
But then Eagle Flies get shot and mortally wounded. And you and Charles is like, I'll go with you. Because Charles is friends with Eagle Fly's tribe.
Yeah, Charles is half Native American, half African American.
Oh, is he? I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So they go, and unfortunately, Eagle Flies does die. And his father's like, oh, dang, this sucks. And I'm super pissed at this point,
Yeah, it's just like, dang it, like, this is Dutch's fault, like,
So Charles, he actually ends up. Charles ends up leaving the group now. He's like basically. You had already told Charles that you're more than likely gonna die from tuberculosis, and Charles was like, "I'm sorry, my friend. But you've become a good man. This is not. This isn't like people. Some of the group members who died earlier that are barely mentioned by name. He's like, this. You're not like them. You never were, but you've become a good man. You can die a good man, Arthur." And so you leave Charles. You like hug and say goodbye, and you wish Charles like a good life, like live the rest of your life, a good man, and like he does the same to you, and you leave and you go back to the camp, and then it like cuts into this epic music as like you're running like through the back to camp for like basically the final time.
Yeah, and it's intense.
Oh, by the way, at this point, for some reason, my main horse had like run away or something. I couldn't find him, so I ended up using my temporary horse for the rest of the game, the one that kept following me around.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I still had my main horse, and so you.
Oh yeah, we forgot about another mission because you had to break Eagle Flies out of the prison.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so you have to break him out of the. It's a pretty short mission. Break him out of the mission, or
it's fun though.
Yeah.
You get to use a bow and arrow.
This actually took me a minute because my horse kept dying, and for some reason I figured it'd just let your horse die, but it wouldn't let your horse die in this.
Nope.
And also, I couldn't get in the canoe. I could not figure out how to get in the freaking canoe.
He texted me and was like, "How do you get in the spare canoe?" I'm like, "You just push triangle."
I was like, it would be like, "Bow," because it's like Charles and Eagle Flies got too far away from you. So it took me like 2 or 3 times tries to get through that. And eventually I just started shotgunning people in the face on this mission. Because I was like, I don't care. And I finally got through it after like 3 or 4 attempts of something stupid like my horse dying or not getting in the canoe in time happened. So
finally, the ending.
So you're riding back to camp. And you get there and you're like, Dutch, what the hell? Eagle Flies is dead. Most of the camp is gone. And then while you're screaming at Dutch, John walks up. And he's like, "You left me to die, Dutch."
And everyone's like, "What the crap, Dutch? You said he was dead." And then it becomes a standoff.
Yeah, between like John, Arthur,
and Dutch.
It's like John, Arthur, and like Sadie or something are on one side. And like everyone else, Bill, Jose, Dutch, F and Micah, like they're all on the other side.
And it's just like, what the crap, guys? Like, and
then
so
the Pinkertons show up.
Yep,
again.
and then the Pinkertons
I'm like,
show up.
I freaking swear, Micah is calling these people and telling them
on the cell phone. Hey guys, we're at Beaver. We're at Beaver Hollow right now. Can you guys just come? I'm about to get shot.
So you find out that they have Abigail too. I feel like we're telling this in the wrong order, but yeah. You find out that the Pinkertons have Abigail.
And you gotta go get Abigail. So it's you and Sadie again, and Sadie's like, what's wrong with you? And you tell her, like, hey, I'm sick, and she's like, okay, well you be my Overwatch. Here's this, use the sniper rifle, just cover me. And she runs up in there and just is a crazy psycho again. And you got to cover her, She's just shooting people in the face, and it's insane.
Then she gets captured, though.
Yep, and then she gets captured, and you're like, well,
and
dang.
At this point, I'm just like, F it. I'm tired.
Yep.
So I just mowed on everybody. I don't kill everybody, but I
killed everyone.
I crippled every one of them. Like they
I shot everyone in the face. Multiple
you get
times.
there, and you break in, and they've got Abigail and Sadie like at gunpoint, basically. Mm-hmm. And then you find out the secret that I've known the entire time. What's the secret, Jordan?
Micah is the mole.
Dun dun dun.
And I was like, let me kill him. Let me kill him right now.
Oh my gosh, you wanted. But yeah, so you're like, what? I knew Micah was a rat bastard, or something. And then the Pinkerton's like, yeah, I'm a psychopath. I like killing folk. And then Abigail like cuts his head off or something. I can't. Like she breaks.
She takes your knife and stabs him in the throat.
Yeah, and then you get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So then, what had happened?
What had happened is you
give Abigail and say Tilly and Jack, and you're like, get out of here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Abigail gives you the key to the money, and is like, hey, this is where it is. It's under the cabin, not
it's
the
in
cabin.
The cave behind you, behind the camp.
Yep, in the cave behind the camp, under the wagon. And then you gotta go meet up with John, and you're riding out to go get Dutch and Micah to capture them. And then you're the Pinkertons are following you and stuff.
I wasn't riding to capture them, by the way. I was riding to put a bullet in their heads. Dude, when you had that standoff, I was fully prepared to kill Bill and to kill Jose. Like I planned to kill both. I had planned to kill both of them.
I tried pushing Deadeye, and I was like,
I
will kill. I'm like, I got both my pistols out right now. I will unload 12 bullets into each of your skulls, and I'll walk away happy right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But it wouldn't let you.
It wouldn't like that.
Nope. No, it wouldn't
so
like
you
that.
Run
so you
off.
finally,
you run off.
Yep, you run off. You get John. And John is, he's like, I'll ride with you. And
he's like, do you want to get the
choice.
money or do you want to help John, basically?
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in what Jordan has to say here.
I chose to help John.
I thought you said you chose the money.
No, I did think about it. And then I was like, no, John's my friend. And if this was real life, I would help John, even if I was a psychopath.
My thing was... I thought what I thought was gonna happen was I kind of want to see what happens if you go for the money, because
I can tell you.
I wanted to just okay, go ahead.
So what happens if you get the money? Arthur gives John his satchel and his hat, and is like, "You go be a good man. Like here's some money." He gives him some money and is like, "Hey."
Is that what I haven't? Did you?
No, I watched a YouTube video.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because I did think about getting the money, but I was like, nah, I can always rob a stagecoach or something if I need money.
I knew you were gonna die anyway. I knew you were gonna die.
Well, see, I thought that, but I was like, if I need, I can't use the money. I don't need
exactly.
it.
That's what
I didn't at that moment in time. I wanted to help John. He'd been through so much crap. Anyway, but what happens if you choose not to get the money? You give John your hat.
Money? What happens if you choose the money? No.
If you choose,
which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about if you choose the money.
Okay.
If you choose to go back and get the money, this is what happens. So you give John your hat, and he's like, I can't take this. And Arthur's like, I don't need it. I'm going to die. It's, and you, oh yeah, before this choice, your horse dies.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. The horse.
Your horse dies.
The poor horse that had followed me around the whole time.
Shot.
Not even my primary horse, Jordan. The horse that had been helped, that was like, I'm going to be a good boy and follow you around. He gets shot. It's so sad.
Dude, I
teared up a little bit.
I paused the game and I was like, let me find the person that shot my horse, help me.
I'm like, you actually, Arthur, not you. You don't do it yourself. It's in the script. I'm glad. John's like, we got to go, Arthur. But he's like, I can't. I got to do something real quick. And you go over and you thank your horse.
It's and you lean down. You're like, thank you, and it's like,
so sad.
Man, my heart.
Cause I feel like it was especially for me because, like I said, this is a horse that had been following me around, and I was like, oh no, you're dead. You're gonna die.
So you choose. If you choose the money, this is what happens. You obviously your horse being dead. You give John your satchel and some money and your hat, and it's like, go be with your family, be safe, get out of here.
That happens in both endings, or because that's what happens if you choose to help him too, because you fight your way up the side of the mountain, and then you get to a certain point and you're like, I got tuberculosis, and then you're like, you gotta you're like, John, you go, I'm gonna hold them off while you get out of here and help your family. And so that happens in both of them.
Kind of, yeah. This is just a different way where John runs up the mountain and gets away by himself, and he's like, hey, this is where you can find Abigail and them.
Okay.
But if you choose the money, he's like, I'm gonna go take care of this business. You go find your family. And he's like, I can help. And he's like, no, this is like a suicide mission. I'm doing this by myself. And so it's crazy because you're sick and you're running through the forest and you're coughing. It's like, Josh, Micah, get out here.
Oh man, that sounds dope.
Get out here, I'm coming, bitches. It's like, I'm coming for you. And it's crazy because, in a sense, you think about it, they're not anywhere close to that, but you're still running through the forest.
They're pretty close because they were trying to kill you just a second ago.
So, you're running through, it's like, I'm coming for you. And you make it to the cave and you find the stuff and you hear all the Pinkertons and you get out of the cave with all the money. And what happens is you get ambushed by Micah.
So there's like no difference.
No, there is. You get to have a knife fight with Micah. And it is intense looking. I watched it on YouTube, and I was like, man, I should have picked this.
You'd have a fist fight with Micah.
Yeah.
I kind of like the fist fight because it was just brutal.
Me too.
You're just like, you're not beating me, Mike. I don't care. And it was more important to John, I think, because you got to help him more.
Yeah, but no, this is just like a straight up like knife fight. Like he stabs you, you cut his face. Like it is intense. And then obviously. He ends up killing you, and I think he stabs you in the heart.
He kills you? No, that's worse.
He kills you, and you're like, and then they take the money and they get away.
So Dutch gets the money because of that? Oh my gosh, that's the worst ending.
Yeah, it's pretty bad
because worse ending.
You die, and the Pinkertons show up, and they're like, oh man, this sucks. But I picked we both picked the ending where. You go with John. You hold them off. You kill the Pinkertons as they're climbing this mountain. Those are some dedicated government agents, man. Like climbing.
I was like, if y'all would stop, I would stop shooting you.
Exactly. It's like they're climbing a mountain in the middle of a thunderstorm while they're getting shot to death. And then Micah finds you, and you just end up having a fist fight.
The conversation that you have is really nice. Like farewell to John. Because, you give him, like in the other one, you end up, except you give it to him at a different point. You're climbing the mountain, and you get to a certain point, and you're like, I can't go any further, John. You keep going, meet Abigail here. You give him your hat, which I guess is the hat in Red Dead Redemption, and your satchel. And you're like, I'll hold him off. And then he's like, you can't do this, Arthur. You can't. And he's like, I have to, Micah. Or, God, no. John, I have to. And then he's like, okay. And then John says, you're my brother, Arthur. You know that, right? And Arthur's like, yeah, I know. You're my brother, too, or something. So they have a sweet moment together. John runs off to his family, and you end up having the showdown. Micah dumbass bursts out of effing nowhere.
Arthur! Black Club!
I still beat him half to death, even though I have tuberculosis.
But sadly, Micah does end up shooting you, and you end up dying.
I don't remember getting shot. I don't think I got shot. I didn't get shot.
Really?
I don't know. He didn't have a gun, or he had a gun, but I knocked it away.
Yeah, but he got it. Well, in mine, he got it back, and he shot me in the face.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I died of tuberculosis.
Dang. Okay.
You're serious?
Huh. Yes, I swear. Whoa. Yeah, he shot me in the face, and it shows you his.
That effing sucks.
Yeah, I was so pissed because and it shows you because he shoots you through your right eyeball, or at least it did for me. And it's like a chunk of his face is gone. And it just shows him, and it's just Micah just laying there like, and it's just, yeah.
No man, I beat him. I beat him half to death. And then he pulled his gun out, and I knocked it out of his hand. And I, fell down and started crawling towards it. And he's like, "You're never gonna win." And Arthur has such a good line. He's like, "You know what, Micah? What's funny? As hard as I try to lose, I still won."
Dang.
And then Dutch comes up and steps on the gun.
And it's just like, dang. Yeah. All right.
And then Micah's like, "Shoot him, Dutch! Shoot the bastard!" And Dutch just walks away. And I thought I was going to get to pick up the gun and shoot Micah. But Micah runs away too. And then I just roll over and look at the sunset and die.
Yeah, he killed me in mine.
Oh.
maybe I'm remembering that incorrect, but I'm pretty sure he shot me in the face.
That'd be pretty hard to forget getting shot in the face.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he shot me in the face.
Okay,
like,
but yeah, after you die, it is like years later, and it moves on to the epilogue, which I did not beat. I played it. I looked. It said it was like 6 or 7 hours. I was like, I ain't got time for this. But it's basically setting you up for Red Dead Redemption, the original. I mean, like, this whole story kind of was. But this really is, like, how you get your town set up and everything in Red Dead 1. Do you have anything to say about the epilogue?
I beat it. I honestly only played it because there was more Sadie Adler story in there.
Yeah, you kind of meet up with the rest of the gang again, don't you? Or the ones that aren't
Charles,
dead.
yeah, Charles went back and buried Arthur and Miss Crenshaw, who's like, Miss Crenshaw's the older lady in the camp that runs the hose. And,
she's the one that killed Molly, not Miss O'Shea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you get to have your own little town and stuff. And that's really it. Like, I did the epilogue just because I wanted more Sadie. Yes.
Yeah, I need.
Well, do you want me to tell you what happens?
I mean, I kind of want to go back and beat it. Honestly, I know that Micah dies.
So, yeah, that's all you need to know. It's the epilogue is just as epic as the ending of Red Dead.
Yeah, it's not that I didn't want to play. It's just I was tired, and it was.
Yeah, I understand.
It was like 2 in the morning or something.
I understand. And that's all I'll say about the epilogue is it's just as epic. It has epic moments, just like the story. It's like all the cool moments. All the cool moments in Red Dead packed into 6 or 7 hours. So it's really cool. They didn't waste any time or anything on it. It's just as phenomenal as the whole other main story campaign. But we do have some information we wanted to give you real quick on Red Dead Online.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah. It like kind of came out early access today.
For deluxe members, if you got that bundle, and there was no mention of you getting early access to Red Dead Online if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition. So for all us normal people, it'll come out on
30th.
30th, yes.
Okay.
So this isn't like I just copied this down from watching an IGN live stream of it. There's 425 rewards you can get, whatever that is. The map is just as big as the main game, if not bigger. You can create your character. That is a guy and a girl. There are lip sizes, there's scars, there's skin color. You can choose your whistle. There's no voice acting for your character, so the whistle is your voice acting for getting your, for customizing the audio.
Yeah, I mean, and they probably want you to talk over voice chat.
Mm-hmm. More than likely. You get 2 stat points to put towards health, stamina, or deadeye, and you take a mugshot, which is what's used in the profile section of your character, where you have like Arthur and your horse. There's Eagle Eye for tracking, so that's still a mechanic in the game. You unlock Deadeye early on, so you don't get Deadeye straight out the gate. You do a mission to get some stuff. You do a mission to get, the Deadeye card kind of a thing. So there are ability cards, which are upgradable. So with Deadeye, you can choose like one that like regens health while you have Deadeye, one that gives the people in your party more Deadeye, and then I forgot what the third one was. And then the last thing I have written down is when you do a multiplayer mission, you have team lives. I don't know if people can be revived or not because I stopped watching at 2 to record this episode. But while doing multiplayer missions, there are team lives. The first mission I saw, which is to steal some horses, they had 2 team lives. So
all right,
yeah, that's really it for Red Dead Online. So check it out.
For that, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to say about Red Dead?
I just kind of doing a little wrap up. What do you think about this game?
I think if it doesn't win Game of the Year, I'll be very surprised. It is, sometimes when you see a game that's 10 out of 10 for most people, you're like, whatever. People are just saying that. It's just marketing. It's just hype. This game literally is a 10 out of 10. Like, I have talked about this game every day probably since it came out, and even if people that don't play games have brought this game up and are talking about it. And it is beautiful and intense, and even if you didn't I'd say people could get 60 to 80 hours.
Oh, I'll probably put 40 to 60 hours in this. It also doesn't show you anywhere, so that I could find how long you put in the game.
But what I was going to say is, even if you, for some reason, forsaken the main story and you just wanted to do side missions and side stories, you could easily put hundreds to 200 hours just doing the side quest and stuff. Like there's a woman that wants you to find dinosaur bones.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
This is I did a quest that I had to go find circus animals.
Oh man.
Like there's just little things like that, and it's just incredible. I have nothing but high praise for this game. What about you?
This game is like I said earlier, it is a masterpiece. Arthur is my favorite character in any video game of all time.
Really? Wow.
The graphics, or I would have an argument that said they're the best looking graphics I've ever seen.
See, and comparing this to Odyssey, which is the adventure that I'm currently on, I'm not trying to taint Odyssey for you, because I know you're going to play it, hopefully, after you play God of War. But
Odyssey seems like a very good game, even a great game, maybe.
But it's a good game and a great game in a different way. Like, the locations in Red Dead mattered to me. Yeah. The locations in Odyssey don't really matter to me. Not that I'm not paying attention to the details, not paying attention to the dialogue. It's just that it's so huge. It's so massive that, you're always focused on the big picture as opposed to the small, intricate little details that, happened to the town drunk, or, why this person in this town is the way they are, or
they have stories. Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10. It is my game of the year. I don't know. You have to listen to find out. It is.
I thought you said is it? I thought you said it is your game of the year, and I was like, whoa.
It's in the top 3. Maybe top 2. I don't know how.
Man.
I was shooting people in the arm because I didn't want Arthur to kill people. Yeah. Because I wanted him to transition from a bad man with morals to a good man who had a reason to die, who had something to die for, who realized that loyalty isn't everything, and you need to choose who you're loyal to, This is the best story. This is, besides maybe The Walking Dead Season 1, this is the greatest video game story that's ever been told.
Dang. That's a big... Oh, I want to agree with you, but I also want to argue the fact of... I want to bring up another moment in video game history that is good, but...
We'll leave that for another episode.
Yeah, we'll leave that for another episode. Like, what has a better story than Red Dead 2? So... Yeah,
but we've been doing this forever. I've got stuff to do. I'm sure Jordan has stuff to do. This game is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece of masterpieces. It's one of the great... Exactly. It's, honest to God, one of the greatest games ever made. It just is.
Yeah, and I will happily accept any other game company that wants to take as long as they did creating this. Like, I'm fine with waiting for games now. It's
congratulations, fine. You guys. You've just... I don't even... Those... If the 100-hour work weeks are true, and they seem like... As the person that I am, if you're the type of person who wants to create something, if you choose to put that kind of hours into something, and it turns into this, it's worth it. It's worth it because that's the kind of game you've made. So just congratulations.
Congratulations, Rockstar. Congratulations to everyone at the Red Dead team and everybody.
Thank you.
And yes, exactly. Thank you so much. It is one of the most beautiful things to me in this game is the credits, because it literally lists everyone that has worked on this game. There were water artists. There were sub-water artists.
Really,
not sub.
So pretty.
Not sub as in talent, just
underwater.
Like people. Yeah, exactly. Well, like there was like a head artist, and then there were artists that worked under them. There were forest artists and horse mechanic. Like it was just, it's amazing. So if you want to see all the wonderful work that's gone into this game, and you're iffy about, if you should buy it or not, just go look at the credits. I'm sure they're on YouTube somewhere or somewhere on the internet. Just look at all the people that put their hard work into this game, and just tell them.
This episode is going to be long.
It is going to be long, and if you make it through this, I am so thankful, because honestly, it's probably going to be close to 3 hours.
It might be, honestly. But
yeah,
it deserves it. This deserves it. Next on the docket for me is God of War.
Yep. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to finish editing this so it can be uploaded so all you wonderful people can listen to it. And then I'm going to save some more Grease. Or I might play some more.
Oh, man, I got to go. I got to go do Spanish homework. I didn't mean next, right now. I got to go do Spanish homework.
Oh, gosh, no. Okay, but as always, you can check out the podcast on iTunes and give us a review. We'd really appreciate it. All the other stuff's going to be in the show notes. One Up My News now has its own RSS feed. We appreciate you listening. We hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, a good Black Friday, wonderful savings on Cyber Monday. If you want to support the show, you can use our Amazon link in the description to purchase some stuff. You can also support us on Patreon. You know the deal. We love you guys. We appreciate you listening.
Let's tell them the deal.
Okay, fine.
A new listener.
That's true. Okay. If you are a new listener for this show, we have a Twitter. It's One Up Me Podcast It's One Up Me Podcast on Twitter. You can use the hashtag PlayOn or the hashtag AskOneUpMe to submit questions and topics for the show. If you don't have a Twitter and you'd like to email the show, you are more than welcome as long as it's safe. You are more than welcome to, as long as it is safe for work. You can email the show, oneupmepodcast@gmail.com. We do have a website where it's the hub for everything One Up Me. It's oneupmegaming.com. We also stream on Twitch. We will definitely do our most diligent best to get back to doing that.
I'm thinking maybe over
our crazy schedules,
break, which is like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, maybe so.
We'll be able to do it.
So I have like 3 days off for Christmas, so maybe I can do something there. We have a Reddit. It's r/OneUpMePodcast. We have an Instagram where we post little hints towards what the next topic is going to be and just promotional things on there. It's One Up Me Gaming. You can support the podcast by becoming a patron on patreon.com/oneupme.
I have actually a little update on that. Our musical artist, what do you want to call him, who did the Danny Phantom theme song, is hard at work with the Toonami theme song. So we're excited to show y'all that. You can follow us on Instagram. Jordan is getting really good at making them Instagram posts look better and better.
I actually worked on a Red Dead one before this episode, and I still need to do some things to tweak it to make it look a little bit better. But you can follow me on Twitter @Swaylock. You can follow Ryan on Twitter, Ryan Divisions, and you can interact with either one of us on there. More than whatever. Just leave us a review.
What you think of Red Dead.
We appreciate it. Exactly. Let us know what you think of Red Dead. And as always, oh, my bad. Hang on. Our intro and outro music is 8-Bit Passion by the Heatley Brothers. We appreciate y'all so much. We thank you for allowing us to use your wonderful beats and jams for our intros and outros. And we got some stuff to do. I'm sure you wonderful people do as well. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe. And as always,
I have one more thing to say.
Will
we ever? Dang, I missed. Will we ever get the Tsunami episode out? Have some faith.
Play on.